Good evening, everybody. It's match evening. I could say match day, but it's match evening again. So thanks, Gordon, for putting the team news up, as you always do. Let's just have a look at the old... the thingy here. Just bear with us a second. I'll check my internet signal here. Got super fast broadband as well. Well, it's been struggling recently. No, that's not too bad. It must just be something in a glitch in the matrix. Right, so the team news in, we've got Moore in goal, Hume on 9, Meffem, Neil, Brown, Rigg, Isidore, Watson, good to see Watson in, Connolly, subs, Nakoyu, Ballard, Hajeldi, Jones, Elesic, Mundell, Roberts, Rusin and Mayenda. I wonder if we'll see what you call him, Elesic get a run out tonight. Be good if we did. It'll be good if we did. I'm just closing some thingies down here. OBS. So how's you guys? Guys and girls, how's your day been? You been alright? Have you been well? I hope you all have. Right. Where are we? So let's go into the chat. 3 changes: Rigg in for Bellingham, Watson and Connolly in for Roberts, and Mundell, who drop onto the bench, of course. Just setting up here. Yeah, where we at? D Hall, hello D Hall, you alright? He says, interesting lineup. I'm guessing Tommy Watson on the left and Isidore on the right. Gordon Seymour says, yeah, hi, my thoughts of yours for the team place positions. He says, evening, Stuart, how are you? Hall says, hi, Cabbie, hello. Hall, how are you doing? Big chance tonight for Connolly and Watson. Yeah, absolutely. Stealth Gaming, hello mate, how are you? He says, hope you're well, I'm doing fine. And Peter Lesbiel, going for a 3-1 Sunderland, hope all is well with you. Yep, hope you are well. Thank you very much for tuning in. Right, so what's everybody's expectations tonight then? Are we, would you be happy with a point? I wouldn't be. I think we need that win tonight. Don't care what anybody says.
FC Live, we are here in the the Sky Studio at the Stadium of Light, as we're always broadcasting from the Stadium of Light for away games. The fans, of course, and the lads are down at Deepdale, you know, a very historic stadium within English football, Rob.
Absolutely, very historic stadium. Has been playing there for probably as long as any club have played at their home ground, though it's been completely redeveloped over the years. Since my first visit to Deepdale, which is about 50 odd years ago. Yeah. But yeah, very historical club from the very, very early days of football, and hopefully there'll be a bit more history tonight if Sunderland can get the 3 points Danny wants. He knows I always like well, when I say I like a point away, I'd obviously prefer to win. But Saturday was a classic example of why. You know, at the beginning of the game, you went to QPR, you're thinking, yeah, we'd like to win, but the way things turned out was a very good point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to win tonight. We're capable of winning tonight. But at the moment, if you say to me,
so other games tonight, times kick off. It's 8 o'clock kick off tonight.
Games and draw your away games.
We've got
You don't go
Blackburn
far
Stoke,
wrong. I think Regis this
quarter
season
to 8.
opening
Coventry
the seven
Derby,
to 2 points.
quarter to 8.
If
I
you
think
can't-
Coventry will get another win there. I think they'll get 3 on the bounce.
Then you draw your own
Millwall
game,
Leeds, that's going to be a tasty tie. Millwall on
Let's have a
form,
look at
that's
the
quarter to
starting
8.
11 for people just joining us,
Luton against
around the
on-form
world.
Cardiff. Cardiff is the on-form team, the top of the
Key
league on the
changes,
form.
Danny,
And
maybe
Preston,
not
of course,
expected.
against Sunderland.
No,
And
maybe.
Sheffield United, as you know, got out of got out of jail free yesterday. They were losing 1-0 to Bristol City, and they scored 2 late goals. They were terrible, Bristol City, mind. I watched it. They just totally gifted the goals to Sheffield United. But that's what decent teams do.
He might not play on that side. You know, just chatting with Rob, that's his favoured position. But Isidore might pull rank and send him across the pitch. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, you weren't expecting this lineup, MACKEM, Moole. Are you surprised with that one? Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see how we set up. You know, I've got Chris Rigg on there. Chris has played there. He played there last season a few times. Chris probably doesn't enjoy playing out there as much. You know, so they might play a 3 in there still. We might stick with the 4-3-3. We'll have to wait and see once we get underway. It's a good
Either
problem
way,
to
you've
have
got
for us. We're scratching
you've got to
our heads
change it
on
around, haven't you?
formation.
You're going to get
Preston will be in there as well. Their coaching staff now thinking, what are they setting up like here?
suspensions and this and that and the other.
Wait and see, indeed. Let's have a look at Preston then for the first time this evening. This is how they line up. They appear to be unchanged from their defeat at home against Bristol City, Danny.
Yeah, that was, you know, usually generally, as you say, 3-1 defeat.
I have a strong feeling this could be 4 or 5-0. What, to Preston or to us, Stealth?
No, generally.
After every team we play, the opposition players are buggered for the next game. We're softened up to QPR for Borough last night. We did, man. Borough won, yeah. They thumped them, didn't they?
And obviously in the last 3 games they conceded 8 goals, so they've gone from clean sheets to shipping a load of goals. But no, he stuck with it. Bit chat about the lad there, Kane Kessler-Hayden, I think, playing that left-hand side, get up and down, wing back. Sam Greenwood, 1 or 2 lads will know about, good friend of Dan Neil as well. I think he got his goal at the weekend, didn't he? I mentioned Potts.
I'm going to see
physical presence as well, so they've got 1 or 2 players inside, and Whiteman will just sit in front of the back 4, try and dictate play for them as well.
Yeah, and under Paul Heckingbottom, they'll hope that they end the season a lot higher in the table than they currently are. A good quality manager.
I'm going to have a look and see what the 2-0 Norman Logan. Hello, how are you doing, Norman? Welcome along. Stealth Gaming says us. Makamula says, Defo thought Mundle would still be in, but I suppose fast legs on a tiring Preston defence late on might be a stroke of genius by Lebré. He's been pretty quiet, Mundle as well, the last couple of games, hasn't he? I'm just going to see what the social media says about the team news. David Bray says, Mayenda's not getting a sniff now. John Burns says, interesting, Mundle and Roberts have been poor last 2 games, so why not shake it up? Let's see. Great bench, though, to freshen things up. Jim Holborn says, looks okay to me. Hope Rigg has got past the chest infection enough to make loads of assists and maybe a crafty goal he can do. Glad to see Dan Ballard in the reckoning as well. A very healthy squad we have. Seen a good few seasons. How are the lads? Stephen Snowball X says, great to see some rotation in the squad and a great opportunity for Watson and Connolly. And Stu Dagley says, chuffed to see Watson get his chance. Hopefully he takes it and shows what he can do with a game in 2 days' time against Coventry. And pleased he's freshened up. And finally, Stephen Collington says, about time Roberts was dropped to the bench and Tommy Watson given game time. So, yeah, we go. Roberts, I thought he didn't do too bad, to be honest with you, against QPR. Just... he seems to have lost his confidence to running down the wings and getting past his men, doesn't he? That's what he seems to be doing. So let's have a listen to what...
yeah, exactly that as well, yeah. And, but the prime example there, when we mentioned it, you look at games on paper and
Danny
results,
Collins
you know, obviously we drew 0-0. Middlesbrough went last night 4-1
Yeah,
to 1 down there. Sheffield Wednesday's the biggest prime example. Got beat 6-2 against Watford at home, then they rolled Norwich over 2-0 last night, so you know, football can change.
Isn't that typically the Championship?
Yeah.
Everybody can beat everybody, really,
exactly
which
that,
is exactly why when we are playing away to Preston, we are top Preston, 4th bottom, and I'm sitting here thinking, actually, I'd take a point because everybody can beat everybody.
His negativity is going to work.
No, it's not mine. It's my positivity. You start with a point. You come on with a point. Obviously, you won 3, and if you can get 3, happy days. But don't
bonus.
come home having got beat because you were pushing too hard and gave a game away.
It's going to be an interesting game. Let's have a look at this fixture from a historic point of view. The biggest game, obviously, in Sunderland's history in regards to Preston North End. Will it be, of course, 1937?
Yeah.
Preston went on the next year to win the FA Cup, didn't they?
They did indeed. And when Preston won the FA Cup the year before, the year after, in 38, they beat Huddersfield 1-0 in the final with a last-minute penalty, and Huddersfield's goalkeeper was Bob Hesford, the father of future Sunderland goalkeeper Ian Hesford.
Oh, wow.
It's a little aside. Yeah, we beat Preston 3-1 at Wembley, 37. First time we'd ever won the FA Cup, getting beat 1-0 at half-time. In those days, if you'd had red cards for professional fouls, would have been 1-0 down and a man down because our centre-half hacked their centre-forward down his clean through just before half-time. And just no such thing, just a finger wagging and a free kick. So we got away with it. Came back. Bobby Gurney equalised. Ray Carter scored. Eddie Burbank scored a late goal. And happy days. 3-1, as you say, the biggest game in the history of Sunderland and Preston North End. And in the Preston North End side that day was Bill Shankly, the future Liverpool manager. Bill Shankly. He was always on
That looks like the Stadium of Lights. Got all the seats and everything all prepared for the Remembrance Day
Really?
when there was 5 forwards.
weekend.
Yeah, in the old double
You can see the poppies and stuff, and at least we forget in the on the stand.
Who knows? Who knows? Given that lineup, I mean, you and I off air.
Looks like a good display is going to be on the way Saturday.
The different permutations, but we'll find out 5 minutes into the game, won't we?
This is our 126th meeting between the two sides, with some high-scoring games in the 60s and 50s, including a signal defeat away at Deepdale. Hopefully we don't succumb to anything like that this evening.
No, well, we don't. But I mean, it's only 3 or 4 years ago we went down to Bolton, not too many miles away from Preston, in the position where if we won the game we'd go top of the league, and we did get beat 6-0. Yeah. These things can happen in football. That's it. It's not going to happen tonight. Don't panic. But it can happen, and Preston, they've already beaten us down there this season. Of course, the League Cup though was a game where we made a lot of changes. Yeah. I think Chris Rigg was in the side, Simon Moo was in the side. I think other than that, it's probably a different 11.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Mundell played in that game, and I expected him to play tonight, but he's out
well
of the side.
Night,
he did, yes. Yeah. And although Mundell and Roberts are left out this evening, it does mean that should we need them, you can bring them on fresh in the last 15-20 minutes and cause PNE a problem.
How much of a point will Alan Brown want to make tonight on his return to Deepdale?
Only he'll know. I mean, obviously he was there 10 years or so, wasn't he? So obviously I think he's got a good rapport and relationship with the fans still.
SJ, just hope Watson doesn't get bullied off the ball and Watts tracking back. Like, hopefully he can help his full back like Mundell does. Hello SJ, hello John Winning, you alright mate? Robert's done well last 2 games, must be fresh legs, interesting house set up. And Bong says, alright lads and lasses, hoping for a drubbing this evening, 4-0 to the lads. Fingers crossed mate, fingers crossed.
When he got into the side at the weekend,
I thought we were going to...
game hard to gauge. I mean, after
we were going to thump QPR, but that wasn't the case.
Singing for half an hour.
It doesn't always work like that though, does it?
Somebody out who stood out really. Yeah. But no, he'll want to get out there and come through the game. He'll know obviously a lot of the boys in their team as well. He'll have 1 or 2 bits of banter with him in the tunnel, I'd imagine, or before the game, before the warm-up. But once it gets down to it, switch on, get your game head on, and he'll want to come away with the 3 points.
Do you think Regis will have picked his brains about any of the players?
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Has that ever happened?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, I've had plenty of that with managers as well. Usually they look around, especially the experienced boys, and say Alan was there for years, wasn't he? So he'll know most of that squad. Yeah.
A lot of this squad's been
as usual.
a long time as well.
Yeah.
The Preston players, they tend to stick around, don't they?
Yeah.
I think when Alan Brown looked at the fixtures at the beginning of the season, he'd have had that trip to Deepdale nailed on as a game he's really looking forward to. But now, he'd be looking forward to a different reason, because going back to Preston, seeing his old fans where he was such a legend at the club is one thing, but knowing that with Job's suspension, he's got
SJ says, won't be high scoring, they'll do what QPR did, raise their game and defend well. They have loads of draws.
Which everybody expected him to be at the start of the season. But because
Preston have
of
got a really good record at home on night games, apparently.
He's
Going to spam the hearts with auto clicker to boost the stream rate. Hey, you're spot on, mate. Cheers there, Stealth. Positive man, evening game for the telly, loads of goals. We hope so. Because we're being top 2
ambitions tonight in terms of
being top of the league.
Out of the game rather than just
the fans just really want anything. They want to win tonight, don't they?
Yeah, no, exactly that. Yeah, he's got 3 games, hasn't he? Certainly that, and then obviously, as I say, Job comes back. I think it's West Brom on the 26th.
Yeah.
And then he's still on 4 yellows as well, like 1 or 2 of the other boys as well. So big opportunity. Not just himself, as we said, with Aaron Connolly coming in at the top end of the pitch as well, I think.
Yeah, let's quickly flash up the side again for people just joining us. This is the Sunderland side for you. There's changes tonight. 3 changes in the 11, Danny.
Yeah, well, I was going to run through the formation there, but yeah, I think one thing we do know is that back 5, I think obviously more with the clean sheets back to back, and the lads in front of him been excellent. And then it's what happens.
Uncle
in
Monty,
evening
Cabby, fingers crossed.
Dan
Brown to
sitting,
score tonight.
Riggy and Alan Brown just ahead of him. Isidore might well play out on the right. Tommy might go out on the right to say once we get underway, we'll have to see. But one thing we do know, we've made a few changes. And we've got good strength on the bench as well.
Yeah, it's always helpful, isn't it, Rob, when you've got some strength on the bench?
Absolutely, and we have got more and more strength.
That's it, enough of that lot. And don't forget as well, I've set up a feature now where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to the channel in the top left-hand corner. All proceeds just help towards my channel so I can like buy new equipment, better cameras and whatnot. So that option is there if you want to do that. Etienne Lamar says the club historian thing is so boring. D Hall says Tommy Watson, local lad and only 18. However, Tommy's son. Regis Labrie is talking now. But yeah, we've just got to. I want to see Sunderland come out the blocks tonight. I want to see us coming out and showing intent, to be quite honest with you. Marine Fish keep all right, 4-1 win. Wilson to score. First goal. Got bet on. Oh, well, I hope you're right with that one. Hope you really are right with that one, to be honest with you. All right, where we at? Yeah, and don't forget as well, we've got Coventry coming up on Saturday, and that is the international break again. Can I dare I say it? So, yep, another international break. Can we get 3 points tonight, and can we get 3 points against Coventry? Just have to take one game at a time. We've got 61 people now coming into the chat. Thank you very much indeed for joining tonight. A very mild night as well. Very mild night. Yeah, I'd like to see Wilson to get a goal. He was so unlucky against QPR. I thought he should have buried that, you know. He had that chance. It was a beautiful pass that split the QPR defence and he was clean through. And I would have expected Wilson to put that into the back of the net. We did have our chances. And I do believe if we'd scored them 2 goals with Dan Neil hitting the post, I don't think QPR had an answer. They peppered us all night, but they didn't have the quality, did this, to score. So I think it was there for the opportunity. It was just on another day them goals might have gone in, to be quite honest with you. So not long till kick-off, just about 10 minutes away. Let's get some more stuff on social media. A lot of mixed feelings about the team news tonight. Doesn't matter, does it? As long as you win. Wilson Isidore played 9, scored 4. How many will he get tonight? We will just have to wait and see. And Joe Bellingham has been ranked in the top 100 most valuable players under the age of 21 in world football. So that's not bad, is it? Yeah, we've certainly got prospects there. So yeah, I just want to see us have a decent performance tonight. Oh dear me, I've just had my tea. I'm stuffed fish and chips. But it's not going to be a walkover tonight. It never is. But I think Preston are more suited to Sunderland than what QPR was. Let's hope they go in tonight. I do, Marine. Absolutely. I watched the Sheffield United Ipswich game last night, man. And Ipswich scored, I think, on the 75th minute, 78th. And my God, I've never seen a defence so awful. I mean, their keeper, it was such an easy ball. It came. He went to come and catch it, and he just dropped it. It was a Leeds United special. And I think they got a corner, or they scored from it literally seconds afterwards. And the defending, Bristol City's defending last night was absolutely abominable. And it was 1-1. There was only one way that was going. They tried to be passing sideways and backwards, tried to be confident at the back, but they couldn't string two passes together. Bristol City, they kept hitting it short, they kept giving the ball away. And to be fair, it was a deserved win for Sheffield United. That's why they're breathing down our necks. Second off top, they got the win. And that's what we need to do tonight. The Packer Andrew, hey, Cabbie, my spammers have been sorted. I reported them to PlayStation. They're going to call the police on him. Yeah, there's some crazy people about, isn't there? Absolutely crazy folk about. There certainly is that. And we've got 15 people hitting the likes. We've got 73 people now. It's starting to fill up the room in here. A few people coming in, and we've got 5,000 Sunderland fans going to Preston tonight, so they will fill that stand at the back as they always do. And there's been an accident on the M6 as well, so that M6 is going to be closed until 4 o'clock this morning. So I think the Sunderland fans, they've had to do some detours, and but it looks like they've all made it there. I think it happened quite a while ago, the M6 being closed, so they've had plenty of time to replan their route. I think if that had happened 3 hours before kick-off, I think it would have been a delayed kick-off to allow the fans to get to the ground. So I think there's a lot of cross-country being done there to get to the Preston game tonight, a lot of the air roads, but they've made it. That's the main thing, they've made it. So I love playing at Preston. Like, I just think the Sunderland fans, they're just class. They're so loud. They're so loud behind that goal, especially for doing well. But we'll just see how well we'll do tonight. You can usually tell, can't you, the first 5 or 10 minutes how Sunderland's going to end up going for the rest of the game. If we want top two, we've got to win tonight. And the bar's raised really high. Sheffield United won yesterday. We've got to follow suit. We've got to win. If we want to maintain the top of the league and we want to keep doing the pace setters, then we've got no option, but we have to win tonight. If you're just going to be happy with the playoffs, then the Sunderland fans can be absolutely overjoyed with a point. And the Packer Andrew says, I don't think we will win. You go on Sunderland 2-2. We don't want to get too many draws. You've got to turn them points, that point into points. You just have to. So just 6 minutes away or so now from kick-off. Don't forget you can hit the subscribe button if you're new, and somebody already has done that. Thank you very much indeed for that subscriber, and don't forget to click the thumbs up as well. Thank you. And you can also leave a small donation on the channel, which all proceeds go towards improving the channel, getting new equipment, cameras, etc. So that all goes to good use. So we've got Brown playing against his former club tonight. I wonder how he's going to... I reckon he'll get a good reception from Preston, but I hope he has a good game. Phil McKee says, agree, Cabbie, we need a statement win tonight after past few sluggish games. Yeah, I mean, Oxford was superb. Oxford was a really, really good performance. We blew them out the water. But we can't have too many sluggish performances. Like I say, top two teams, the majority of the times, they grade out the wins. like Sheffield United last night, they were 1-0 down with like 12 minutes to go, and they came back and won it. It wasn't pretty for them, but they got over the line, and that's what Sunderland need to do. Ideally, 3 points tonight, 3 points against Coventry that's what we need to do if we're wanting top 2, without a doubt. SJ says, need to win considering the next 5 games we have next. This won't be easy, but the pressure is on if we don't get 3 points. Yeah, of course. The pressure's just going to go on build and build and build. The longer Sunderland stay top, the longer other teams are going to be gunning for you. And of course, it starts getting into the heads as well. Like, we're still top of the league here. You know, it gets nearer to the Premier League, and people start thinking. But I'm sure Regis Labrie will have the players taking one game at a time. I know you like to say you're not going to win every game, but the majority you just simply have to. I think it's either an average of 2 points per game. That's what you've got to do to get the top 2. And I know a draw's not the end of the world, but you didn't want 2 draws on the trot, especially with Sheffield United winning last night. And they just scraped it. Paul McVicker, how are you doing, Paul? You all right, man? Hope all our fans get there. Yep, looks like they are. I'm looking at the our away end now, and it's looking pretty much full already. It looks like they've made it. I was not in work today, but the wife told me that the motorway had closed hours and hours ago, early parts of the morning or something, which is give the Sunderland fans plenty of time to make other routes, even though it's probably going to take them a little longer to get there. They've made it. That's the main thing. Chris Cole, you all right, mate? He says, it seems there's a negative feeling around at the moment. We are flying. We will go for it tonight. 0-2 Brown Eyes at all. I hope you're right. Stealth game. I had to reduce clicks, froze my tablet. There, had it on a clip of 50 million seconds. Fantastic, Stealth. No bother, man. Spot on. Dissident 3284. Hello, how are you? This is Rig on the right wing. Could come inside to add numbers in attack. Tommy Smith should shine for 5,000 fans. A lot of people asking where's Mundell, of course, and Roberts, but they have been pushed onto the bench, I think. The Sunderland team's coming out tonight. Looks like Sunderland's going to be playing in their red and white top, so I will change the colour of our score thing there. I'm sure I've seen on the internet that we were playing in the away top, but no. So there we go. I have changed that back to our home colour. The Sunderland fans are on the feet. Great lot of them down there. SJ, I think Joe Ban, then Rig Scare, then playing crap against QPR have knocked us. Andrew Barker, hello mate. California checking in and looking forward to no political nonsense. Jonathan Mark, good evening, Cabby. Good evening, Jonathan Mark. Colin Robinson, good evening, Cabby. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody. Thank you, Colin. And don't forget, there's a new feature as well. If you want to make a small donation to the channel, you can. It helps the channel massively. So I can improve things, especially with hardware and stuff, for all the benefit of you guys. So, no doubt we'll be doing a minute's silence for the Remembrance Weekend. It's a nice, calm night down at Preston. It's nice actually everywhere. It's very mild for the time of year. So conditions are pretty decent for tonight. So there's not going to be high winds. There's no balls skidding everywhere. Gordon Seymour says 4-2-3-1 lineup this evening. Michael Taylor, hi Cabby from Brasilia. How are the lads? Welcome along. You're all welcome as usual. Got 129 now watching. Let's just hope it's going to be 3 points for the lads tonight. Yeah, Isidore and Connolly up front. I'd like to see Connolly shine. I'm just eager to get started. And of course, Paul Heckingbottom, the Preston manager, who of course Sunderland were after. Derek Rigby, hello Derek. Good evening from Southport. 0-3 to the lads. I hope all these scores are going to be right. What you guys are saying. There's Regis LeBreeze there, standing on the touchline, hands in his pockets, licking his lips. It looks like he can't wait to get started. John Ewell, great show, Cabby. You look forward to a win tonight. Welcome, John. Angus Brown, hello, mate. This is Tom Watson starting. Yeah, he's an exciting prospect, isn't he? Watson. Absolutely. He's caused trouble. When Watson's came on, he has caused problems. So here we go.
And Preston will be the team that gets the game underway. They're away at Portsmouth at the weekend, so I did for a moment think this would be the game at which Preston would remember those lost in the...
So they've just got the music playing at the minute, so they've got that and YouTube will say I have to trim that segment out for copyright, so we'll let all the crap play out first. Evening, MACKEM Cabby from Montenegro. Good evening, James. Hi, Cabby, going for a 2-0 win tonight. Come on, the lads. Hello, Chris Hall, Gordon Seymour, BBC Show, Connolly on right, Isidore leading, and Rig on the left.
Right-hand side.
So here we go. How are the lads?
Is out on the left-hand side. Connolly will be up front. Rig in the 10 rollers. The whistle blown, and we're underway here this evening. The ball played back to Freddie Woodman, the 27-year-old former Newcastle keeper, who's all in yellow tonight. He sweeps the ball up to the corner of the Sunderland penalty area on the right. MACKEM heads it away, and now it's picked up on the left-hand side of the penalty area by Andrew Hughes, whose cross is swept behind, and it's a goal kick to Sunderland in this opening minute of the game. Big scoreboard and TV above the away end.
Come on, the lads.
Hanging out underneath the roof of the stand.
I didn't know you could. Can you show the game?
Interesting. Well, they are.
Yeah, it's strange gesture.
And the ball from Moore up onto the halfway line. Comes back on the far side to Story.
Sunderland got to win this tonight.
To Liam Lindsay. This is in the Preston half. And across to the left-hand side to Andrew Hughes, who plays it back to Lindsay. And then through the centre, Ben Whiteman looking for the run of Brad Potts wide on the right, down the right side of the penalty area. Sirkin's gone with him, and the ball just kept in by Potts. It's played behind him to Mads Frokjar, and they break into the penalty area on the right. It's pulled back here, and a chance early doors, and they've missed a glorious opportunity. Greenwood and Rees between them.
He should have scored. Where was cut open.
Warning signs are there.
That the goal was wide open.
Hayden.
And
hello, Ken. How are you doing, mate?
They have conspired to miss Preston.
Oh, how the hell did they not score
showing the replay
that?
On the screen. Greenwood's shot, well, he took maybe a few seconds too long,
mate.
And played it
we need to
across the goal. And
all over the shop, says Andrew.
On this left-hand side,
that should have been 1-0
Hayden
Preston.
Couldn't get his foot round it, because it was, I think, probably he will feel
block, though. I think it was Luke
he should have scored. But anyway, it's 0-0, and Sunderland have escaped
they didn't score,
because Preston, I'm sure, will feel they should be one up.
Yeah,
the ball has come back.
That's football, isn't
to
it?
Lindsay.
Sometimes we should have been 1-0 up against QPR, but we missed our chances as well.
Closed down by Watson, played back behind him to Lindsay, and he plays it forward straight here to Dan Neal. Neal on the right. He managed to avoid the tackle from McCann, slips the ball through now to Rigg, and Rigg on the right plays it back behind Neal, and he had to stretch. Hume has to come back and try and recover it, but it's threaded through to Rees, and then Hume makes the tackle.
Great tackle.
And it's a throw to Preston on the left-hand side, halfway inside the Sunderland half. Early in the game then.
Question
0-0,
is, will we miss
BBC
Bellingham
Radio
tonight?
Newcastle. Here's Hume on the right side of the...
Oh, is that the...
Zest. The ball swept into the box. Sirkin heads it down. Greenwood has a shot. Half volley, which bounces up into the hands of Simon Moore.
We haven't started well, Nick. Been a bit sloppy a couple of times there in passing.
Preston have started brightly. Greenwood's had a couple of half chances. We're in the 4th minute. The ball is back with Simon Moore in
Hello,
green.
Julian Gonzalez, you all right?
He drives it wide into the dugouts on the far side.
We'll look nervy at the
Throw
back. We
to
don't look
Preston
settled at the
North
back,
End.
Sunderland. I need to sort that out
Taken
tonight.
by Story, Jordan
Massively
Story.
need to sort that out.
Back through Lindsay to Andrew Hughes. A back three that have been together a few seasons here at Preston. Here's Hughes back into the middle to Liam Lindsay, and he drives it down the right flank, trying to get it to
Moore,
Frockyar
once
and out
again,
to
one of
Potts.
his kicks has
Potts
just
on the
gone
touchline
straight
inside
out for
to
throwing.
Reece. Emil Reece.
Our
flicks it
distribution
through,
from
looking
our
for Greenwood
keepers
at
have
the
been
edge of the
terrible.
area. Was that a foul? The referee has given the free kick.
Give a free kick right on the edge.
Right on the edge of the Sunderland penalty area for the foul on Greenwood.
I tell you what,
He
we're
let
on
the
the back
advantage.
foot.
Watching today
Well, he
from
let
the
it
computer
play
while
out,
doing
but then there was no
schoolwork.
advantage and he's pulled it back.
Yeah.
Moore has caught.
2 or 3 times, Nick, they've played simple balls behind us and got in.
They've just slipped the ball through,
Oof.
haven't they, on that?
Yeah.
Another half a centimetre, that would have
To
been a
find
penalty.
Greenwood. Free kick.
Well,
18
Palmer
yards out,
Adrian
just to
Greenwood,
the
not
right
forgetting
of
where
the
he comes
D.
from.
Was just outside the penalty area.
Is that the Paul
Can
McVicker who also
Preston be
drives the
put off
taxis
by
in
the
Carlisle? Or is it
5,000
some other Paul
behind
McVicker?
Moore's goal.
Hello, Preston North End, Jeff. How you
Wall's
doing?
gonna go
Welcome
back
along,
a
mate.
few yards yet.
Got a yellow card.
Who was that? Got the yellow.
MACKEM.
Mepham.
Oh, yellow card already.
He'll fancy this one, Sam Greenwood, won't he?
He will. He's going to take the
We should be 2-0 up, says Preston North End,
free
Jeff.
kick.
It's annoying, isn't it? We were like that against
Is it too
QPR.
close for him to
We
get
should have
it
been
up and
2-0
over?
up, but we
That's
weren't.
the
well,
question.
that's the question, isn't
Yeah.
it? The wall's been pushed back a few more yards. It's about 8 yards out now, and Mepham booked for the foul on Greenwood.
200
He'll
now
try to
in the
whip it
chat.
into
Thank
the
you,
far
everybody.
corner here, on the right-hand side. That's what he'll try to do.
It's 5 goals this season, 3 in the Championship, Greenwood.
Simon Moore's right-hand side. That's what
Moore
he'll
is
go
in the
for.
middle of his goal at the moment. 4 in the wall, and here is Greenwood with his right. It's crashed into the wall. It's done its job. It's come back out to Lindsay in the middle, lays it off to Kessler Hayden.
I went for a
He
3-0.
swings the ball, the low knee from
I
Aston Villa
can't
up into the
do, but
penalty
what
area.
I'm seeing so
Moore
far,
punched it out. It's going to be volleyed back in or half volleyed over.
You've got to
the
catch
bar.
that.
it's not good.
I'm not
What
sure
I
why
look-
he
it's not
didn't
good viewing
catch
what
that.
I'm seeing so far.
Simple.
Put it that way.
Catch it.
We look nervous. Don't know why, but we look nervous.
So 0-0. Goal kick for Sunderland. The ball just rolled to Mepham on the right side of the 6-yard line, and he's kicked it up to the halfway
Sign
line.
up for Wigan, says
Headed
Preston
on
North
down
End,
to
Jeff.
Chris Rigg, who's fouled. Lying prostrate on the pitch. He'll pick himself up, Chris Rigg, and it's a free kick just to the right of the centre circle.
Don't forget, if you're new to the channel,
halfway
hit the
between the centre
subscribe
circle
button and
and
hit the thumbs up. Thank you
the
very much. I've got another subscriber
touchline
there. Thank you
a
very
couple of
much
yards
indeed.
back from the halfway line. Tap by Hume to Dan Neal, back to Hume, and Hume now back to Simon Moore at the edge of his penalty area in the 7th minute now here at Deepdale. Here earlier, of course, in the season for that League Cup game when Sunderland rang the changes.
Yeah, I'll
Mundell
turn the
was
commentary up a
standout
bit.
player that night for Sunderland in a poor performance. Tonight,
There we are.
Mundell's on
I'm
the
on
bench
full volume there, so there we go.
as Isidore tries to win a ball over on the left wing, but easily held off by Potts, who swings the ball over to the left to Kessler Hayden, and he rolls it back now here to Hughes. Back out to Kessler Hayden on the touchline.
Colin,
back
what
to
time have you got on the
Hughes,
clock, please? Trying
and
to
then
sync up
forwards,
with
it's
my
flicked on by Reece.
stream.
Tommy Watson wins it now.
Oh,
Nice
great
ball
pass.
inside to
Right
Neal.
down the side.
Dan Neal away down the right-hand side. Tried to float the ball into the centre for Rigg, but it was intercepted and played out through the middle by Ben Whiteman. And now Reece trying to get Kessler Hayden away down the left.
8.5
Hume
minutes.
chases him back into the penalty area. Mepham gets in front of him, taps it back to Moore, who kicks clear first time up onto the halfway line. Hughes heads it in the air, and now headed on again by Rigg. Looking the run of Connolly, he's beaten in the air by Lindsay, and then McCann heads it powerfully back to Freddie Woodman. who rolls it out, bowls it out down the right of midfield to Jordan
Nice
Story.
football from
Back
Preston,
inside
like.
to Liam Lindsay, and Lindsay back out to the right-hand side again to Story, and wide to Potts. And Potts down the touchline, trying to get Frockyar away. It's up towards Rees, knocked away by Mepham through the middle for Connolly, and now to Watson. Tommy Watson on the right-hand side here. Lovely ball through to Connolly again on the edge of the penalty area. He's knocked off the ball fairly comfortably by Liam Lindsay. Connolly half looked for a free kick, was never going to get it.
Don't forget
Comes
you can
back
make a
down
small
here to
donation
Hughes
to the
again.
channel as
And
well,
Hughes
which helps me
sweeps
channel
the
out
ball
massively.
back up into the
I do
Sunderland
appreciate it.
half
Thank
and
you
back
very much.
to Simon Moore at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area.
So I'm saving up and I'm getting a new microphone.
Out wide, Sirkin into the
so
Preston
I can sound
half,
better.
turns, lays it off behind him to Alan Brown. Brown now back to O'Nien.
Someone just need to get settled
And
here.
O'Nien
Like.
across here to Mepham, and Mepham up towards the halfway line, lays it off on the right to Trey Hume. Hume inside to Dan Neal, who tried to flick it on first time for Connolly.
Andrew Moore, hello.
Cut out by Lindsay.
Connolly
A
knocked off
little
the ball.
dummy
too
played
easy. I
by
know.
Kessler Hayden to take it, let it roll on to Rees, who's got Mepham all over his shoulder. Rigg wins it. Now looks to play it to Isidore. Lovely ball to Wilson Isidore at the left corner of the penalty area. On to his right, low shot.
Ooh.
Just whizzes past the foot of the post.
Unlucky.
Unlucky there.
First time we've strung 2-3 passes together, Nick.
Opened up a little bit there for Sunderland, but a lovely ball from Rigg.
Excellent pass.
So 0-0, 10 minutes played. Live on BBC Radio Newcastle. Again,
First
the
shot,
goalkeeper
Jonathan Mark.
takes a short pass, he's under pressure from Isidore.
Tell you what, he's lucky.
He's very lucky, got the ball away eventually to Story, but Isidore did a good job of closing him down. Now with Whiteman coming back across the centre, Ben Whiteman out wide, Story onto the head of Sirkin, through the middle to
Was a good
O'Nien,
effort.
down
Michael
to Brown,
Brumwell, hello
across
mate.
to Hume on this
Jeff
right-hand
says,
side.
listening to you, Stu, watching
Sunderland
Sky
in there.
Synced.
Red and
Welcome,
white
Jeff.
stripes.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Hume,
I hope you're all right.
Rigg.
These are must-win games.
Back
Come
to
on, man.
Mepham.
Connolly says Michael
Across
Brumwell,
to
welcome
O'Nien.
to you. And Dissident,
O'Nien
good effort.
now
says
up to
Dissident.
halfway on the left, looking for Isidore, tried to flick it through to Sirkin, but it's come back inside. And Connolly has got Story all over the top of him. Comes back here through Andrew Hughes to goalkeeper Woodman. He kicks out to the left, Kessler Hayden on his chest. Tommy Watson wins it off him. Inside to Dan Neal, and now short pass forwards to Rigg. He
what
plays
he's
it
here
forward,
for,
it comes off the
Janet.
head of Andrew Hughes, but Rigg gets it to Hume. Curls a ball into the penalty area, cleared out to Frockyar, and the Dane plays it across to Potts on the right-hand side. It's given away to Luke O'Nien on the halfway line. He will play it
Come on, lads. Come on, come on.
down the right to Watson again. He's tripped by Hughes, and it's a free kick to Sunderland
That
on
should
the
be a
right
booking,
wing.
that.
Should be a booking.
Mepham.
Well, he's gone to his
Yeah, he's
back
booked
pocket,
Beckham. It's got to be.
but I don't know whether that's for a spray or a card.
It's got to be a booking.
I think it's for a spray. It is. It's a dab of spray
Yeah, same old
placed on the
SJ.
pitch, and
Well done, Tommy Watson. That'll do him the world of good, that.
yeah, two in the wall. Rigg has gone to recover the ball.
Da-da-da-da.
And Chris Rigg now
Good delivery.
just a
That's
yard
really
or so in from touch on the right-hand side, 23, 24 yards from the corner. Alan Brown comes over for a word. In fact, Alan Brown may indeed take the free kick.
Come on, Sunderland.
Defensive wall, they line up, it's 12 yards out. Brown replaces the ball. The two in the wall for Preston don't stand shoulder to shoulder, there's a gap between them. Rigg and Brown step back quite a long way here, actually. I think it's Brown. Is he going to take it?
Oh, they are, Michael. It's awful.
Brown comes forwards now, and with his right, curls it into the penalty area, but it's headed out only as far as O'Nien. He gets a second stab at it. It takes a deflection and goes wide for the corner.
Of course you do.
First corner of the match.
Good balling.
O'Nien had two bites at the cherry there, and the second one took the deflection. And Brown, I think it is going to go and take the corner on that far side, the Sunderland left. It's the Sunderland fans you can hear away to our left.
Sean, Red Armies.
And
Big shout
Brown
out.
gets the
So big
ball,
shout out to Chris
rolled to him.
Winder.
They've got
shout
Sirkin
out
and Neil
to
at the
you.
back of the penalty area. Hume out at the centre circle. Watson over on that far side as well. Referees coming in, seen a bit of pushing and shoving in the 6-yard
Oh,
box.
got hit right in the
Dennis is
testicles
due a
there.
goal, isn't
He is, yeah, and he's on the penalty spot at the minute. All depends on the delivery, doesn't it? Alan Brown then from the left-hand side, away to our right, and with his left he curls it in. Woodman punches it out with his right hand out to the touchline on the right, and Neil lets it run out for a throw to Sunderland. Halfway inside the Preston half in the 15th minute. Neil's going to leave it to Trey Hume.
Colin Major or Colin?
Jogs
What
down,
the hell's going on
picks
with
up
the radio
ball,
Newcastle's
short
comments?
throw
Like,
to
is there a
Neil,
mag in the studio?
forwards to Watson. Watson trying to slip it past Kessler Hayden, who knocks it out. Throw again for Sunderland down this.
Come on.
Covers the ball on the foot of the advertising boards. Needs some help here. There needs to be some movement. No one close. And then the ball thrown down the line for Watson. It's won back by Kessler Hayden. Slipped inside to Whiteman, who whips it up towards the halfway line. Mepham gets above but fouls Greenwood, pushing him to the floor. And it's a free kick, which is taken quickly by Kane Kessler Hayden. He's had a few spells on loan as the ball is whipped up and headed back to Moore by Luke O'Nien. Plymouth, a season-long loan last season.
Working with
Huddersfield, Johnson, Swindon,
black and white
with the
leap.
22-year-old left wing
Anyone
back.
else's commentary keep going
Here's
down.
Mepham.
Yeah, it's off and on
Tries
and
it
off
up
and
through
on.
the middle, looking for Connolly. He's fouled by Lindsay at the edge of the centre circle. So a free kick to Sunderland. Connolly jogging on forwards now. Luke O'Nien leaves the ball at the feet of Mepham by the looks of things, and he clips it down the left wing, looking for Isidore. Bounces away from him out for a throw on that far side for Preston North End, who are away at Portsmouth at the weekend. 20th at the moment in the table, but as we mentioned before about Queen's Park Rangers, the draws they've had is basically what's there is keeping them in that position.
Come on, Sunderland.
Kick up towards halfway, headed by Mepham into the centre circle to Hume, on down the right to Watson. He manages to slip the ball away from McCann, out to Hume, inside to Rigg. He's tried to find Watson. He just lost his balance, Rigg, with the pass, and it's out to Kessler Hayden.
Ref,
down the line to McCann.
on, says Michael.
And now out on the touchline. Hume keeps it in, but it's slipped inside to Emile Rees. Back to Kessler Hayden, and back to Hughes into the middle. Lindsay, Connolly managed to sort of try and sneak in an intercept, but it got back to Woodman, who's got clear, and they're taking it away through the middle here now, and it's played up towards Greenwood, but it's back to Kessler Hayden, and now down to Greenwood again on the left side of the penalty area. He curls a cross in, and the header just past the post from Prockyar. He scratches his head and he's wondering how he didn't score there.
Well, everybody thought in the stadium that it was a goal, and somehow it's gone past the far post. But again, a good ball in by Greenwood. Yeah.
Good ball in, as you say, by Greenwood. Prockyar, what was he? 8 yards
He's
out.
done everything right, except hit the target.
Yes, he did.
Kesko, yeah, I'll have a look at that, mate.
So
Get
they've
a clock or
got a
something
chance,
put on.
haven't they?
I'll see what I can do.
Couple of good chances, Nick.
Yep. Watson,
We haven't got going.
not doing too bad.
Too easy at times.
So 0-0. The ball back with Freddie Woodman.
We've had 2 warnings.
And now out to Kessler Hayden on the left, who plays it back to Hughes, Andrew Hughes. Back to the goalkeeper, and Woodman kicks this up towards halfway. Hume heads it into Rigg, who's tried to flick it on to Watson, but it's come back to Hughes and the goalkeeper. And Watson goes to close him down. It's passed out, and McCann does manage to come away with the ball. and slipped it inside to Whiteman in the centre circle. Across on the far side to Frockyar. Potts is ahead of him down the touchline. Potts now just leaves the ball for Frockyar to run onto down the right side of the penalty.
Come on, Sunderland, for God's sake.
Oh, excellent defending there. But at times it's too easy for Preston to break the lines.
So now Luke O'Nien has the ball at the left edge of his...
SJ, gone down again. Someone needs to complain to Newcastle. Box. What, has it gone down at your end, or is it this commentary you can't hear?
The job what Bellingham does in there.
Showing shots on the big screen of Job in the away end with his dad. Here's Mepham inside to Alan Brown, who sweeps the ball down the right wing. It's hooked away onto the head of Rigg, out for a throw to Preston. And Hughes with a throw back to the goalkeeper.
Slow start, I know.
Woodman kicks up to halfway, wide on the right-hand side. It's with Potts, who swings it into the middle, looking for Greenwood. Lets it drop over his shoulder. Kessler Hayden on the left of the penalty area. As he's played it back behind him, Hughes curls the ball into the box again. Another header, just wide. This time from Potts.
Like you said, Nick, another header. You know, the ball goes back to the goalkeeper.
I said about Connolly, when I've seen him break a few times in the box.
So easy to get through.
He's just not. He hasn't got that pace.
Down a little bit
he hasn't
quicker.
Got the pace.
Stop that delivery coming in. If they don't stop that delivery, they're going to get punished.
We're approaching
Thanks
the
for the 2 subscribers
the
there. Thank you very much
0-0
indeed.
Out to Mepham, up to the halfway line almost. Lindsay's header
didn't look like the top of the league side against QPR either.
And Connolly tried to intercept it, but it'll break for Hughes in the
95th minute winner, Sean. Eh?
He rolls it out to the right. Frockyar on the right touchline inside the Sunderland half. Forward to Rees, out to Potts, and Brad Potts, 30 years old now. Wide on the right. Hexenborn started his career with Carlisle. Taps it back onto halfway. Back again now to Hughes, and he will play it through to Greenwood, and out eventually to Kessler Hayden. Down the left touchline.
The fans, is that right?
Watson with him. It's come back to Greenwood.
You've got to close him
Greenwood
down.
crosses, hangs in the air, and towards the far post. It's nodded down by Sirkin. Comes down here for Frockyar. Shot blocked. And now out to Isidore to hook clear if he can, up to the halfway line. Drops to Hughes, down the left, straight to Hume, forwards to Brown. Brown now gives the ball away to Ali McCann. McCann, Brown trying to win it back off him. McCann down the left on the touchline, lets the ball roll out, is tapped out by Brown, and it's a throw to Preston North End. We're in the 22nd minute. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
We're not at the races at the moment, Nick.
No, still 0-0.
It's not good enough. We're not at the races. We need to be at the races. What's the matter?
Played inside.
Not at the races. We can't have too many games not at the races, because we'll not be top 2 at the end of the season if we're not at the races for too many games.
Liam Lindsay, Ben Whiteman. Short pass to his left again to Lindsay. Out to Hughes, looking for Greenwood, who's overhit it a little bit this time for Kessler Hayden, and it's gone out for a throw to Sunderland on the right. Andrew Hughes is on 4 yellow cards for Preston. Riggs on 4, of course, and so is Trey Hume. Roberts is on 4. Roberts is on the bench tonight for Sunderland. In the air, the ball drops for Dan Neal. Connolly's knocked to the floor by Liam Lindsay. The ball floated over them. It's on the halfway line, and Story plays it back to Lindsay. Lindsay plays it to his right to Jordan
This
Story.
is on the power last season's performances.
Comes back to him again
sneak
from
joke
Whiteman,
from the stands.
and back again to Freddie Woodman, who joined.
I'm sorry,
Preston
but
in
I just don't think Connolly's got the pace.
From Newcastle,
I noticed it when he was on
been
a few times.
on loan, of course,
He's just
Newcastle
not up to speed at all.
Career. Free kick to Sunderland inside their own half. O'Nien is going to take the free kick. Just left of central midfield in the 24th minute. Back to Neal. Then to Mepham.
Sheffield United
Watson.
haven't played teams mostly in the
Tried
bottom half. I know, but this is
Flick
what you
it
need to
on
do.
down
You
the
need
right
to put teams
for
to bed.
Rigg, but it was knocked out for a Sunderland throw. It's left for Trey Hume to take. On halfway, on the right-hand side. Again, he needs some help. Rigg eventually drops to Hume.
No.
Tried to pass it on straight to a Preston player, and it comes
Conley
back
hasn't
onto
got pace. No,
Simon
it stands
Moore.
out a mile.
Scoops it up, rolls it to Luke O'Nien, then out on the far side to Sirkin. Sirkin away down the left here now for Sunderland, over the halfway line. He looks
Definitely
to try
needs to
and
change
get
it half
forwards,
time, like.
turn with Procchiar in front of him. Plays it back to O'Nien, now to Mepham. And Mepham into the Preston half. Hume's just ahead of him. Hume rolling it into the space for Watson to run onto. He got his foot on the ball, slipped over, and the ball rolls through to Freddie Woodman. Just had to stretch a little bit too much, Tommy Watson.
Yeah.
And Woodman rolls the ball out here on the left to Hughes. Hughes closed down by Watson, inside to McCann. One back now, Dan Neal through to Connolly, trying to back heel, didn't come off. Ali McCann to Ben Whiteman, and then to Procchiar, and out to Potts on the far side. Potts looking for the run through the middle of Procchiar. Moore will beat him to it in midfield. An up and under from his right foot.
Conley does need
Hangs
to
in
come
the
off.
air,
It's coming and
headed
40,
on
says
by
MACKEM.
Alan Brown, straight to Ali McCann, now to Potts again on that far side. Potts being chased by Isidore, gets it out to Procchiar on the right-hand side. He puts the ball into the box, but Neal will clear it. Isidore tries to knock this away down the left wing. He pushes it on, but it'll run to Jordan Storey, and he places it back straight into the path of Rigg. And it's tapped back to O'Nien, and now out to Brown, back to Neal, through to Hume, through the centre, back to Dan Neal, and across to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien up to the halfway line. He's in the centre circle, plays it short to his right to Mepham. And bit of pushing from Hughes, wins the ball back for Greenwood, and now trying to win it back is Neal. He's done that, he's found Alan Brown, and Brown just behind the centre circle. He's needing some help here, needs some movement.
Millwall 1 leads nil.
Hume.
Huge result coming in
McCann
there.
in front of him, back to Mepham, closed down by Rees, plays it back behind him to Dan Neal again. Neal,
That's a massive
short
scoreline,
pass to his left to Luke O'Nien, then out wide to Sirkin, back to O'Nien, and O'Nien.
But we need to do
back
the business
to
here,
the
though.
goalkeeper. Moore's just outside his
Every
penalty
time they
area,
get forward,
plays it to Mepham.
Greenwood's involved.
Forwards
Yeah,
to
Regis Labrie will be
Rigg,
playing for
back
half time.
to
Play
Simon
for half
Moore.
time so he can get Muller and
Neal
Roberts on.
in
because
this
he
moment
won't
in
do it
time was
before.
last couple of minutes been acting as that third centre back
Yeah,
again.
just to get a touch of the ball.
Mepham through the middle, Rigg trying to roll it round Hughes, who's sticking with him, and Rigg has done well, but Whiteman's there as well. Rigg still has it, and he's done well. He's got the ball back to O'Nien, just behind him, and O'Nien now looks up, plays it to Hume on halfway on the right-hand side. Hume out to Watson on the right. Watson for Hume in space down the right of the penalty area. First time ball trying to get it into Watson, but Kessler-Hayden's got in the way. He's got the ball back, he's got it on the goal line. Hume's on his shoulder, McCann and Kessler-Hayden in the corner. He gets the ball down the line. Big shove in the back by Mepham on Rees. And it's a free kick to Preston.
Come on, lads.
Mepham's arguing with the referee.
I can want you, Dennis.
Millwall
says
1,
Sunday
Leeds 0.
FC.
So Millwall are playing their part.
Will we
Yeah.
capitalise on
Oh,
that?
it's gonna
No,
be a
because Leeds
difficult-
will
it's
win
always a
anyway. Well,
difficult game
yeah, I
at
know,
Millwall.
I know,
Well,
I
it's
know.
going to be
Yeah.
Sunderland in a
This
week
is
and a
the
half
thing, isn't
time.
it?
For 2 weeks and a half
It's a
time.
difficult game for me and you.
Yes,
It's
it is.
scrappy, Julian. It's
Yeah.
scrappy.
Interesting
Yeah.
We haven't
game and
woke
interesting
up.
ground, isn't
Yeah.
it? Ball comes back to Woodman at the edge of his area in his sort of lemon
Hello,
yellow
Lucy. All right, mate.
goalkeeping kit.
It's scrappy.
Out
It's
wide
slow.
to Potts, back inside to Whiteman.
But the most important
Whiteman
thing
here
is
to Lindsay.
we have not let a goal in.
Connolly's buzzing around him, but he's got the ball back to the goalkeeper.
Stupid fouls. Mepham not on
And he
form
kicks
today either. Yeah, he's on a yellow as
long
well,
to the
Mepham.
halfway line.
We didn't need another sending off, for God's sake. I'll be with me wits end if that happened
Brown
again.
the back. Brown plays it down the left, and it's one back here.
Bad.
And Greenwood's taking it into the penalty area on the right. Tried to cross, blocked. It's a corner to Preston.
I think that just sums up Sunderland in his first half. We've been sloppy. We've been second best.
We will be, just by 1 point though, Michael. Lone live streams for
Procure
iPhone.
and Reese were in the box. Greenwood
Get a
trying
grip,
to pull
says
it
SG.
over.
Yeah, we'll be 1 point, but
Preston win their
we
first
won't be
corner.
top of the league for long. If we carry
Whiteman's
on with these
jogging down now
performances.
to take it on the right-hand
We've got to
side
play
in
like a
front of
top
that
team.
bank of 5,000 Sunderland fans.
Yeah, it must be Radio Newcastle right the way through or something. I don't know what's going on.
To the group of Preston players on the penalty spot. And amongst them, Sunderland players. Now Reese has walked onto the 6-yard line. Potts is up there as well on the left of that group of players.
SJ, is
break
it
now
the
as
commentary
ball
at your
swept
end? Are
in,
you
hangs
listening
in the
to
air
it on
for
the
a moment.
radio? Is it going
It's
down
headed
there?
out. Good header out by Trey
Because I'm getting
Hume.
it here as well
To the
every
edge
now
of
and
the
again. It
area,
blacks out for 10
and
seconds.
Lindsay's trying to put it back in again, but somehow Sunderland get it out. They work it out, but Preston work it back. Reese down the left-hand side. Behind him is McCann. And now it's into the penalty area and onto the head of Lindsay. Down it comes on the left. And Frockyar's shot is blocked. And now back out to Frockyar again, who's put the ball low, wide past the...
Meffin better watch
post.
himself. Getting laughable
Great
now, says
defending by
Jonathan.
Luke
5 points was a
O'Neill.
nice
That's what you
gap.
call
Yeah,
put your
it
body
was.
on the line.
It certainly was. On the
Fantastic
radio,
block.
so it's actually going off on the
Again,
radio as
yeah,
well.
Another cross into the box, Nick.
Yeah, they are.
And we haven't dealt with it. They've won the header, it's been knocked down.
They didn't really get the corner clear, did they? It was worked back in by Preston. The Sunderland player down.
Luke O'Neill, isn't it?
Is it O'Neill?
Question
Gonna
is though,
receive some
why is it
treatment.
shocking though? People saying shocking. Why is it? What is wrong? What is up? Are they burnt out?
Half an hour played, 0-0. It's amazing, isn't it? You look at the Bill Shankly stand away to our left, which is full. You look to the Alan Kelly stand to our right. It's you know, it's not empty,
full.
but it's not full by any
No,
stretch of the imagination, is it?
MACKEM,
As,
Gary
O'Neill
says,
continues
Connolly,
to
Isidore
get
need to be taken off.
Treatment. All the
the
players have gone
useless
across
tonight.
to the dugouts on the
Right in the goalies.
far side.
Oh yeah, right in the midships. I've seen that.
And Iron's legs raised in the air for just a moment. The referee standing over him with the ball, and
Who got
everyone
who got
just
hit in the midships? Was it O'Neill?
paused a moment while O'Neill receives treatment.
Being hit in the
But I think
cahoolies.
perhaps Regis Lebris will appreciate the
Oh,
fact,
he would
actually.
indeed, because you've got to say that we're not at it tonight, Nick. We're far way off the pace at the moment. Closing down is poor, our passing's been poor.
Luke
Why
O'Neill's
though?
sitting up now, takes a swig off.
This is what I mean
A
though,
drink.
when we get
Gets
suspensions
to
and
his
this and that
feet.
and the other.
Players drifting back onto the
Are our
pitch.
players good enough
the
to
Sunderland
step in
fans
for the likes of
starting
Bellingham or
to sing
Meffin if he got
Behind
suspended?
the goal to our left-hand side. Into the final 15 minutes then of the first
It's a
half.
strange one, Gary. I don't know
Goalless.
why they've dropped.
But Preston have had some good half chances. And Woodman's
of
not been
steel.
troubled yet
He hasn't been troubled.
at the other end.
I say, you know, you look
We're missing
at Preston
Bellingham. I
and they're
don't
the
care what
ones who's
anybody
posing a
says.
threat, aren't
We're
they,
missing
really?
Bellingham.
You know, they've had two
Bellingham was
good,
everywhere on
good
that pitch.
opportunities.
It's going to be a drop ball
To Preston.
to Preston. Referee Lewis Smith standing in front of Frockyar.
Missus will have to leave them alone tonight, Luke.
So
They're not good enough to step in,
He
Gary.
rolls it to Frockyar's
Connolly's been
feet.
way off the pace.
I think there's some anger from the Sunderland fans. The ball's played into the penalty area that Frockyar had actually taken his shot before the game was stopped, and it should really, I think, have
Thousands
been
of
a
them
goal
Sunderland
kick.
fans. I'm just
But
looking at them
here's
now. They
Watson
just
in the
look
middle.
standing in
Just
silence.
pushes it past Frockyar.
Oh!
It's foul. There should have been an advantage, surely, played by Lewis Smith then. Watson, the ball had been played through the middle. Sunderland was looking to break, and then he's pulled it back for the free kick. So Lewis Smith not winning himself many friends away to our left. Mepham with a free kick, pushes it to Hume.
Have we done anything this
Plays
first
it
half?
back to Mepham
The
again.
whip
Mepham
shot
will play
just
it
gone
back
wide
to
from
Simon
Isidore,
Moore at
that's
the edge
about
of the
it.
penalty area. Reese goes to close him down. Moore kicks clear. Story gets above Isidore. Whiteman claiming the throw, which Preston gets.
We didn't want another sending off.
Halfway
honest to
inside
God.
the Sunderland half
Don't
on
even
the
go there.
right-hand side. 34th minute. Potts will take the throw. He's got Frockyar ahead of him. He's got Whiteman inside. He's got Story down the line. It's to Whiteman, who tried to push it on to Greenwood. Played out though by Alan Brown up into midfield, up into the centre circle, and put out frustratingly as he threw his hand.
Not one thing, mate. It's embarrassing. I'm hoping it's not a turn of the season. I hope
Sunderland
it's not.
on the right hand side, just inside the Preston half.
SGS says they're
Trey
all
Hume will take
going
it.
to get.
He's got Neil
Hooked if they don't get
down behind him, down the line, down that way he goes, and Neil
last 2 games
just looks up and plays it back to Simon Moore. Passes it to Luke O'Nien. Greenwood's in front of him, but it's played out to Isidore. Under pressure, he's trying to flick the ball away onto Connolly. Connolly, well, he's going to win the free kick for a push in the back. Free kick to Sunderland, inside their own half, just left of the centre circle.
Our passing's rushed.
Connolly does that well.
Our passing's rushed. I'm watching it on the monitor here, and we just seem to be hurried all the time.
Going to take the free
and we're
kick.
not connecting. Our passes aren't connecting with other players. We're just sort of
in the air, wanting some
hoofing it along the floor, not in the air,
MACKEM.
but we just seem to be just
Good
kicking
ball
it
through
anywhere.
here to Hume in the penalty area on the right, rolls it in. Oh, just past the post from Connolly.
It's a corner.
It's a corner. The goalkeeper must have got the final touch.
Yeah, don't have any more short corners, for
in,
goodness sake.
and Connolly running in onto the goalkeeper, and somehow the ball broke loose off the pair of them just past the post. Sunderland's second corner. Alan Brown down to take it. Away to our right at the Alan Kelly end of the ground, the town end of Deepdale. Brown places the ball. Watson's on the corner of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Neil's just outside the D. Hume is back in front of the centre circle. 4 or 5 players on the penalty spot. 4 or 5 defenders in front of them. A couple more Sunderland players in the 6-yard box. Brown hooks it high in the air. It's very deep. There's pushing going on, and the free kick is awarded to Preston.
Our corners are so anti-climactic. Honest to God. They're either gone straight to the keeper's hand, it's either a foul, or they get a free kick, or it either gets overhit and it just goes out for a throw-in. They're terrible, man.
Taps it to Lindsay. Isidore goes to close down Woodman's kick, but he's got it clear out to Potts on the far side. Couldn't keep it in. Quick throw. Forwards now to Brown.
Thanks
on
for
the
the
edge
subscriber
of the
there.
penalty area, but hooked away by Story. Into midfield,
Danilo,
headed on,
well
but, a brave header, and he's got caught in the head. So Ben Whiteman was the player penalised. There's a yellow card for Whiteman.
About time. Well done, Chris Rigg.
Yeah, picks himself up off the floor. He's brave, put his head in there.
I don't know what to say now, MSG.
Rigg jogging back to join Alan Brown over the
and now
ball
we're ahead
for
and
the free kick.
we're 4-0 up or something.
Preston forming a line along the edge of the penalty area.
Better delivery this time from a set piece.
Alan Brown having a word with Chris Rigg.
We do need a corner coach.
Sirkin's up there, of course. Isidore, O'Nien at the end of that line of players. And Rigg takes this one. He's going to play it towards the far post, but it's overhit. And just went out for a goal kick.
See what I mean? Set pieces,
O'Nien sprinted after it, but couldn't get there in time.
Absolutely awful. We're not practicing these, are we?
Goal kick to Preston.
We're not practicing these at all and training by the look of things.
Half time, maybe a minute or two.
I mean, will
be added on at the end of the first half.
Route 1 stuff.
Woodman with a kick over halfway.
Seeing our set pieces, I don't know what they're doing in training.
For a throw to Preston off Sirkin. It'll be taken quickly. Back it comes.
Everything.
Story onto Whiteman.
The free kick's just gone straight out for a goal.
Frockyar on the far side, cutting inside now into the middle. He's just laid it off
Bowman,
behind
hopefully
him
they went out with steam and ideas.
International Ali McCann. Eventually out to Kessler Hayden on the left wing, and he rolls it back inside looking for Greenwood. Back to Kessler Hayden. Watson on his shoulder. Wide again to Greenwood. Greenwood plays it back to Hughes. They're still just inside the Sunderland half. McCann down the left wing to Greenwood, who plays it back to Lindsay inside the Preston half. To Hughes on the left, 39th minute. Kessler Hayden, he flicks it back behind him to Hughes. Hughes down the left, looking for Rees, trying to get in front of Mepham. Rees taking it into the penalty area, pulling it down here, but straight into the path of Brown, who plays it out to the right to Hughes.
Roberts passed to Bellingham for his last goal was class.
Up.
Need this standard. Would do.
The
Professional footballers and they can't take the corner properly.
There's going to be
Rees got right in there. Yeah, that'd been a better pullback.
They're getting in far too easily. We keep saying this, don't we?
Ball is back with Freddie Woodman. Kicks it wide right from midfield onto the head of Potts.
At the minute, we're nothing like the top of the league side.
On, looking for Watson, but it's headed off him by McCann. Hughes pushes it down the left to Kessler Hayden. Rees had run back.
Yeah, you know, we need to get him in at half time, Nick.
When you comment, you sorted sell out, man.
Moore has got the ball again here for Sunderland.
You got to say, Preston have been a better team.
They have I think they have in the opening. They've had the better chances.
Yeah.
Moore with a kick over the halfway line. Up goes Story.
Yeah, we are. We're missing Roberts.
By Sirkin and out
we're
for
missing
a throw
Roberts and Mundle
on the far side, just inside the Preston half. Back it goes to goalkeeper Woodman.
We've struggled to get going.
Out wide on the right of the penalty area. Kicks it again up into the Sunderland half. Sirkin's got his eye on it, so is Rees. But Sirkin turns him around out to the touchline and then plays it off Potts for a Sunderland throw. We played 40 minutes.
As much
Preston
as people
North End 0,
criticise
Sunderland
Roberts,
0,
we're missing him
and
tonight.
We're live on BBC
so
Radio
far.
Newcastle. Sirkin with the throw. 15 yards from the corner on the left to Brown, back to Sirkin, a block made by Potts. It's another throw to Sunderland.
The thing is, we'll happy clappers say this is a great result if we get a point.
Dennis Sirkin to take the throw. It's got Neil who comes across, who lays it back off to Sirkin and back on the goal line to O'Nien. A longer ball up towards, or trying to find Connolly. It comes back to Dan Neil, heads it on. Whiteman hooks it back over his head, headed away again by Sirkin. Whiteman puts it back over his head again, headed on by Rees, looking for Greenwood, but headed back by O'Nien to Moore, who gets it out quickly now on this right-hand side to Hume. Over halfway, down the right touchline, still going, slipped it inside to Rigg, taps it back to Watson. Watson now on the right-hand side, he's got Hume outside of him, back to Watson down the right of the area, rolls the ball into the box, easily dealt with by Liam Lindsay, who takes it out to touch.
We have to make changes at half-time, of course. James, I've been saying we're missing Roberts, Mundle and Bellingham. Yeah.
We'll take this halfway inside.
Midfield non-existent says that. We are indeed. Philip McKee,
jogs away.
it's time Mears had a dip in form. Player etc. coincided with the appointment of Pedro Ribeiro.
Watson it is, who's pushed in the back, but the ball rolls off him for a throw. Referee and assistant. No sign of ever giving a free kick there.
Yeah, it's a strange one, that, Philip.
Hughes will take
Preston
the
doing a
throw
number on Brown,
for
their former talisman.
Preston North End in their white shirts, very dark blue shorts.
SG11 changes,
again,
what's wrong with them?
back behind him.
Tiredness. Come on, lads.
Lobbed up
Hello,
the
Ian
halfway
Perry.
line by
Welcome,
Lindsay.
mate. How are you?
Bounces through to Luke O'Nien, who gets his head on it, looking for Hume. Kessler Hayden's behind him. Hume turns him, plays it down the line. Hughes keeps it in, heads it straight to Hughes.
I don't know what is up with the commentary at the moment. Like
Kessler Hayden, Greenwood's making the run into the penalty area. He's going to be beaten to it though by Luke O'Nien, who clears out to Ali McCann, who just taps it down the left to Hughes. Hughes down the left again to Kessler Hayden, who's trying to come past Hume, plays it past Neil, he plays it off Neil for a throw. Quickly taken, back to Ali McCann, 43rd minute. Hughes back to McCann again, and McCann plays it back into the centre circle to Jordan Story. Story in the middle, looks left, looks right, then plays it to his left to Lindsay.
Says the wheels are falling off.
Again left to Hughes.
Well, as of tonight, I don't think we've got even any wheels on.
Preston North End on this left-hand side.
I think they've been put on bricks.
And Hughes just running to the touchline. 43 minutes played, 0-0. McCann back to Hughes from the
Thanks,
throw.
Ian Curry,
Into the
mate.
middle
Colin, dear,
to
if you
Greenwood
listen
and
to
Reece.
Radio Newcastle,
Reece
get the phone
digs
and
it out
sort
and
this
finds
commentary out.
Frockyar on the halfway line on the right.
They haven't, Jonathan.
Rolls it out to Potts. Potts back to Story.
Heaven forbid,
Story
man.
forwards to Frockyar, back to Story, and back again to Freddie Woodman. And he's passed it out to McCann. Out wide again to Potts. Potts then trying to find on halfway Reece and Greenwood. Greenwood lifts it down the left for Kessler Hayden, takes it at the edge of the penalty area on his chest to the edge of the box, curls across. Oh, was that a cross or a shot? I think it's a cross.
It was a cross.
Gone behind.
Preston Jeff says, who do you think will
But
win
a
the
goal kick.
half-time?
But the worry is how easy was it for them to play their way out?
Preston are just slightly on top, Jeff. If it carries on, then you've got to favour
Again
Preston
from the
for the win.
goalkeeper.
Darren Richard, morning from Australia.
44th
Good morning
minute.
to you, mate. Sean,
As you
69.19,
say,
needs to
Sunderland
agree
probably
with
be relieved
half-time.
to get
Yep.
in at half
Yeah.
time.
Ian
Reorganised.
Curry says
There'll be a
Leeds
few
losing to their
words said at
bogey team.
half-time.
Yeah, Leeds are losing, are the wheels falling off
More
there.
with the goal kick then for
Lily
Sunderland.
Nolan says
The
Sunderland
players
rubbish.
drift into
Ed,
the middle
Cullinan
and
says,
away
hey
to the
Darren, good
left.
morning.
And
And
Simon Moore
Preston North End,
with a
Jeff
hefty
says
kick
we should have
deep
scored
into
again.
the Preston half.
It's frustrating.
Headed
You've got to put
away
your chances
by
away.
Lindsay, drops to Sirkin, and there's a foul then on Sirkin and a free kick to Sunderland. 30 seconds of the 45
It's about finishing, Jeff.
remain. How much will
The thing is, well, Leeds
Lewis Smith
losing.
add on? Bobby Madley's the fourth official
Wouldn't be
tonight.
surprised
Here's
if they
Watson
go and
down the
win
right.
that 3-1 or something.
He's tackled and the ball comes off Watson for a Preston throw. Hughes is going to take it. It goes back to Lindsay, and Lindsay
Dave says the
plays it
league
onto
table
the
needs
halfway
turned
line.
upside down.
Greenwood. And Greenwood battling with Luke O'Nien, who's pulled him around one too many times.
Let's get them off at half time.
Free kick
We need some
to
changes.
Preston.
We
We're
need
going to have 2
some
minutes of added time. We're into those 2 minutes now.
Well, Connolly's
The ball
just
is on the
done
right
nothing.
wing.
He's not done a thing.
It's a foul
Mind you, Isidore hasn't
on
done much. To be so
Brown.
quiet.
It's a free kick to Sunderland. Wide on the left, deep in the Sunderland half. A minute and a half of the minimum 2
71
minutes left.
likes. Thank you.
Out
Hit the
comes
subscribe
Moore
button if you're
to
new
take
as well.
the
Thank you.
free kick. Woodman's not had a say. Well, arguably the Connolly chance could be deemed a save. That's the only thing he's really had to do. Moore with the kick down the left. It sweeps inside, looking for Connolly.
I mean, this is
Tapped
evidence
down,
that
though,
we
by
need
McCann
to dip into the
Kessler
transfer
Hayden.
window again in
Watson's gone
January
with
to
him.
strengthen.
Kessler Hayden holds him off, rolls it behind him, and it's swept down the left wing by Hughes.
Franco,
Bounces
Vamos
away from
Sunderland.
Greenwood. Reece is trying to win it as well, but O'Nien managed to hook it back over his head. Kessler Hayden heads it on here. Reece at the edge of the area, curls one, punched away behind by Moore. That was a very good save.
Good save, that is a good save. And the commentary hands off again from 5 Live.
Picky shot, and
Dougie Stewart says,
no
cannot
effort
stand that
trying
woman
to close him
commentating in the
down.
sky. I had to get
Trying
a
to
decent
stop the
commentary on.
shot.
Cheers, Dougie. Have
you
teams
could see
figured
what
us
he's
out?
going to try to do. We could see it up here.
Well, it's a corner. We've got 20 seconds left of the 2 minutes being added on.
No, I don't think
Port
teams
Preston's
have...
second
Look, every team
corner
you play in this league's
from the
difficult.
right-hand
Do
side
you know what I
again.
mean? You haven't got the
Four
god
big men up, of course. Reece and Potts on the 6-yard line.
given right.
Hangs in the air for a moment, and it's come out to Greenwood, who's launched this up into the away end. And that'll probably be pretty much it for the end of the first half. That's 47 minutes played. There's the whistle. Half-time, it is goalless.
Good save by Moore.
But there's much for Regis Lebris to ponder.
Does he turn green, Colin?
Yeah, indeed. I think the only plus for us is that we've gone in 0-0. Because you've got to say that Preston, you know, they've gone running off. You can see them. Sunderland players are strolling off because they know themselves that they haven't really played well. You know, Preston have dominated that first 45 minutes. They've had, what, 2 or 3 very, very good opportunities to take the lead. And I just think we're just not at it at the moment. I think we're a yard off the pace. It's too easy at times for Preston to put the ball into the box.
Time to get the commentary off because of the copyrights. Carry on. It's not pretty. Thanks for the subscriber there. Thank you. So I'm going to have a look now, see what the social medias are saying. Half-time thoughts. Our pass completion percentage can't be more than 10%, says Graham. Jeff Payne says, changes needed. I think we are off it. Getting outplayed and outmuscled all over. Michael Clark says, two poor teams. Get Roberts, Mundell and Mayenda on for the second half. Craig Rogers says, man, that first half was poor. I've stopped watching it for a while. The whole team looks sloppy and weak, particularly Neil, giving the ball away loads. I really like Isidore up top, pressing the back line. Connolly looks out of place, doing flicks and losing the ball. They've dominated us that half. Luckily, they can't score for crap. Kick on second half. So everybody's thinking the same, to be quite honest with you. But it's 0-0. We just like to say, do you bring MACKEM off? He's on a yellow. Do you know what I mean? We didn't want another sending off, but yet again he's vital at the back. Sean says 0-0 lucky. 2 minutes at a time. O'Neill was looking for his nuts for the at least 3 or 4 minutes. Another plus for us, those playing crap are now off the pitch, says Jonathan Mark. John Yule, we've been made to suffer tonight for who would be a Sunderland fan. SJ says, get Roberts on, take Connolly off, absolute crap. Ed Cullen says, we beat Luton, Burnley, and we struggle against QPR and Preston. It's baffling. It's just the same every single time, innit? For us. I think QPR, we thought we were going to smash them. Same again tonight, says Ian. But this is wrong. I mean, if the team are thinking that, then you just won't win any games going in with the attitude thinking it's going to be a rollover. You don't have the right to win a game. You've got to earn it, and so far they've not earned it. True, Connolly can't hold up the ball, says Ed. Tony says Rick puffing and blowing, clearly not fit. The Hulk isn't in, Stuart, says Colin. Is he at the Preston game, perhaps? Holly says Reg can't send them out without changes. Surely. Kenzie Parker says, come on, Sunderland, hit and like the subscribe button, says Ian. Norman Logan, thing is, they say one man don't make a team. Surely we are not missing Job. What's looking that way? I'm just going to the toilet. Well, that toilet trip was more interesting than the blooming match, to say the least. Crikey. Oh, dear. You heard the song, haven't you? Things can only get better.
When it's the season finale, we just eat Five Guys. Yes.
Things can only get better, apparently. What's on the chat? Chris Gorlaw. Surely Connolly won't be starting second half. Roberts for Mundell and bring Mayenda on later. Wingers will change the game totally. Sorry, had to stop the Hearts, causing a lot of flag. No, you're all right, Stella. Thanks for the Hearts, mate. Very kind of you. SJ says Preston will come flying. I guarantee it. There'll be at least another 15 minutes to battle their attacks. That performance will have given Preston massive confidence. But the thing is, can they keep that up for 90 minutes? That's the thing. Not many teams can keep that tempo up for 90 minutes. Jonathan Mark, our players did give 100%, gave the ball away 100% all of the time. So what's causing this dip in form? What is it? Is it the night games? Well, I mean, what's going on? Let's go through some half times. Oh no, these are matches from got Preston 0, Sunderland 0, Luton 0, Cardiff 0, Millwall 1, Leeds 0, Coventry 0, Derby County 1. I'm surprised with that. Blackburn 0, Stoke 0, Swansea 1, Watford 0. So Millwall beating Leeds, Coventry, who are on form at the minute, are losing to Derby County. But it's only half time. It's only half time. D Hall says, can't see anyone coming off at half time. Regis will give them a tweak. I mean, as much as I want things to work out for Connolly, like I say, he's just off the pace, and you've got to be strict. If you're not good enough, you just didn't play. It's as simple as that. And if you're off the pace, we can't afford to have players off the pace if we're serious about the top two this season. Especially when you've got Leeds and Sheffield United breathing down your necks heavily. Like you say, I watched Sheffield United last night. They were scrappy, very similar to us the first half, and they were 1-0 down the 70th minute. But they showed grit and determination. Yes, Bristol City got a player sent off, but they put Bristol City to the sword and they did the job. And I just can't see Sunderland doing that tonight unless there is some changes making, to be quite honest with you. So, would you class 0-0 as a decent result tonight? Will the happy clappers be applauding and saying, that's not too bad, we didn't lose, it's another point on the road? Is that what people are going to say? It's another point on the road? Or more than less, it's 2 points dropped again? If I was to sit on the fence, if we play absolutely awful and we get a point, then you have to say it's a decent result. But if you want to consolidate on the top of the league and show an intent and show what the rest of the league you're about, nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough, I'm afraid. And it's me saying 3-0 before. Am I gullible? Loads of people saying Mundell and Roberts need to come on at half time. Thanks for the 2 subscribers there. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. Really helps out my channel massively.
CABBIE says, well, I don't think so. I think I just need a change at half time, don't we? Right, back to the chat. Where do we start? Dugby, hello Dugby. 2 minutes and counting. Simon, so out of the top 6 by January, could be mid-table finish then. Really? Gary Hoyle.
Won't get a win playing like this, Dave. Back from dinner, still finishing schoolwork, but I'm still staying tuned. Thank you, Julian. Very good of you. Dave says we need a win, nothing less. Need to make changes though. Get Roberts and Mayenda on. Take Isidore off the wing and put him up front. Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be. It has to be.
fail to see at this moment in time. I'll fail to see at this moment in time what Connolly brings to the team. That's just my opinion. I think he's not ready yet. Not ready yet. But yes, I would definitely. Blackburn 0, Stoke 1. So what are the half-time score? A lead still.
Yeah, a lot of other people saying Connolly. I've yet to see what Connolly brings to the team. I've yet to see what Connolly brings to this side. I've yet to see anything.
1 point clear of Sheffield United.
These games they should be winning. Get the changes on before kicking off second half, says Gordon. Colin Major, hope Regis thinks what we're thinking. Yep. The Packer Acker Andrew, I wish I was a fly in the wall in the dressing room. What would you be saying you were our manager at half time?
Thank you very much indeed. That is much appreciated. Cheers, Jeff. Could be that's been way more than 2 minutes. I know. Way more than
Kayla does stuff. My best friend's cousin is Tommy Watson. Really? And SJ kicking bins around and shouting, that's effing minging. Kenneth Brown, Cabbie, the new lads are going AWOL too often. Of course they are. We play like this against Sheffield United, we'll get mauled. Dave, I bet he brings Mundell on maybe at half time or around 65 minutes, then Roberts with 10 minutes left. He will want fresh legs for Coventry on Saturday. No point thinking about Coventry if we go and get a win here. No, I know. We'll bring Roberts on when we're 1-0 down or something. Ugh.
Yeah, at the moment we're 2 points clear. I wish Connolly well, but I don't think he's ready for this level yet. I agree. Kerry Top lads, score prediction, Kevin Jackson. I said 2-1 to Sunderland. I take 1-0 now. I'll take a 1-0 now. Kev Jackson. Take a 1-0 right now. Wow, you can do that. Let's see. Not many managers or head coaches change things at half time. There's not many change things at half time.
No.
Has that in his locker? Has he got it in his locker?
Yeah. Does Regis Sabri have the kahunas to change this at half time?
Oh my God! Watching the Coventry goal against Derby. Coventry against Derby. The Coventry player passed back to the keeper. He passed it straight to the Derby player. I'll tell you me now. Zafrisco. Difference between us and Preston. We can get better. Got to sort midfield out. Correct. George Cole. Can I ask? Are you in a different room than normal? Because I can hear an echo.
Hello, Kenzie Park. Are you alright? How are you doing? Ed says, it's a tough league for sure, guys. Yeah, Kenzie Park says, Sunderland all the way. Hello, Kenzie. How are the lads? Stoke winning. Yeah, SJ, Stoke are winning. But so far, all them Sunderland fans have had nout to shout about. Sunderland till I die, says Kenzie. Don't forget, if there's anybody new tonight, you can hit the subscribe button, click the thumbs up, and if you feel generous, you can make a small donation to the channel as well. Thank you very much. So, are we going to make changes out? Are we going to make changes? I don't think we will, you know.
I don't think we're going to. I don't see Regis Labrie as a person who makes changes at half time. I just don't see him as that manager. Some managers do.
Is he going to change it? We'll soon find out.
Yes, about to get underway. Sunderland about to kick off the second half. Apologies again for the intermittent. The line just sort of drops out every so often. It's not for great long lengths of time, but I know how frustrating it must be as Sunderland now get this second 45 underway.
That's
no
right, Dave.
changes to either team, and the ball is swept up towards Isidore on the left, and then Isidore catches Story in the face as he went for the ball. I don't think he knew much about it, to be honest. It was accidental.
Yeah.
But it's a free kick to Preston on the right-hand side of midfield. back
My mum would
inside
blame any
the
interference,
Preston
TV,
half.
radio, no internet way back then.
Sunderland
on the
more in
Russian
goal.
satellites.
Hugh, Mepham, O'Nien and
I'm blaming
Sirkin,
Donald Trump.
Neil Brown, Watson, Rigg,
I'm pleased he's
Isidore
in Donald
and
Trump.
Connolly is the starting 11 as the ball goes out for a throw to Sunderland, and Sirkin has his right wrist bandaged now in this second half. Finds Rigg, who puts it straight out for a throw to Preston.
I just think it 15-20 minutes, Nick, if it stays the way it is, I think we'll see the likes of Roberts or Mundell come on.
Connolly is just not up to this level.
Isidore just
at the minute.
in front of
He needs
Potts,
a
who
rocket.
takes the throw, drops
He's certainly
behind
not
him
up
to
to
Story.
speed for this
Gone out,
league at the
though,
minute.
for a Sunderland throw. Sirkin has quickly picked up the ball and he's needing to find someone to support him. Brown has got Frockyar very close to him. There's no one. Eventually Brown makes a move, peels away off Frockyar, gets the ball forwards to Isidore, who plays it back now to Dan Neil. He's rolled it through looking for Hume. Short pass inside to Chris Rigg, who drives it through now to the edge of the area, and Brown has just taken off his feet, and Connolly, who went to try and pull the trigger, it's smashed behind for a corner to Sunderland.
That's a lot better by
Thanks for the
Sunderland.
subscriber.
Fantastic
Thank
pass
you.
by Chris Rigg. Fizzed in with pace.
It
Good
was,
touch
and
by
that
Brown.
caught Preston out, and now it's a third Sunderland corner, their first of the second half. Down on the left here.
You'd expect Sunderland to play with a little bit more intensity this half, Nick.
So Brown then will take the corner. It's at the bottom of the 5,000 Sunderland fans. Into Watson, he tried a shot, it's blocked. It's a break for Frockyar. He's being chased back by Sunderland to the halfway line. Rigg has gone with him out to the far touch line, and eventually O'Nien tangles with Frockyar. The ball played back to Hughes, who gets it down to Kessler Hayden on the left of the penalty area. He now into the box, trying to come in past Mepham, pulls the ball back here, and it's played low. It crashes off his own player, Frockyar Whiteman.
So what I mean,
he chips
short
it back in
corner.
again, and it's headed away.
What happens?
Again
Preston are down the other end and attacking. What does that tell you about short corners?
by
Sack
Alan Brown.
them off, man.
Back to the halfway line. Lindsay lays it off to left-sided Andrew
Share away,
Hughes.
David. Thanks a lot, mate. Thank you
left
very
of
much.
the three centre-backs, and it's eventually gone out for a corner to Preston. Preston, Woodman in goal, Story, Lindsay and Hughes are the centre-backs. Potts and Kessler Hayden are the wing-backs.
Short corners.
It's Frockyar, Whiteman and McCann in midfield.
Thanks
with
for the
Rees and
subscriber.
Greenwood
Thank you.
up front. Now Greenwood's gone down with Frockyar to take the corner on the left-hand side. Away to our right at the town end of Deepdale. 0-0. We're in the 49th minute. We're live on BBC Radio Newcastle.
Sean Red and White Army, going to say hello to the
Referee
NEPC
Lewis Smith
working
watching
the
for
back
movement in the
tonight,
penalty
so
area. It's headed
hello
back
to the
by
lads
Hughes.
at NEPC.
Drops down here at the edge of the area for McCann, and he sweeps it over the top.
I worry again, Nick, because they've won the ball again from that set piece. Corner being knocked back.
Come on,
Ball
Reese, no
plonked down
change.
by
Obviously it's going to
O'Nien,
be
pass
crap.
to
We
Moore.
need to step it up.
Moore
No
passes it
choice.
then to Mepham. Greenwood goes to close him down. Mepham but pauses and pulls the ball back across the penalty area, out to Sirkin on the left, who heads it out. Throw which Potts takes quickly, looking for Frockyar's run. He back heels it into the penalty area. Headed in the air by Mepham, headed back by O'Nien to Moore.
See, their corner just caused
And
some
Moore
problems.
runs out towards the back of the
a
penalty
no
area,
man's
but then
land.
pauses. And just letting everybody move forwards. Moore rolls it to Mepham on the right-hand side. Mepham down the right, through the middle to Rigg. Back to Moore. Kick up over the halfway line. Hughes heads it on. Comes back to Hume. Trying to get Watson away. Goes down. Looked like Hughes had his hand on his shoulder. No foul, says Lewis Smith, the 30-year-old referee. All in black in the middle tonight. Sunderland in their red and white stripes. Preston in their white shirts. Dark navy shorts. And ball played out to Hughes on the
just an impact
far
sub,
side, the
isn't he, at the minute?
32-year-old Welshman. On 4 yellow cards. Here's Story. Out wide to Potts. Potts closed down by Sirkin. It comes back here to Story and back to Freddie Woodman, the goalkeeper in lemon yellow. Plays it out to Hughes. Hughes lifts one high in the air, looking for Frockyar. It's come down off Sirkin for the Dane on the right-hand wing here. A stumble by Isidore. comes off Isidore as it's swept in, and it's a corner to Preston.
Yeah, I think he's going to make changes. Reggie Lebris,
Gonna
I
make
think he'll bring
changes, yeah,
Robertson.
there's 9
Well,
minutes.
they're both warming up.
Yeah.
5 minutes gone already in the
And I
second
think
half,
he'll
and there's
bring-
no sign
he
of
might
any
make
change
three
at all the way
well,
we
2
play.
changes, bring Connolly off, bring Watson off.
I wouldn't start
Put
Connolly
Isidore
again.
up top.
I'm sorry, like until he does something in training or proves us
I was
otherwise.
going to say, would you take Isidore off? Or would
No,
you
no,
try,
keep
Leave
Isidore
Isidore
on,
on, definitely
take
leave
Connolly
Isidore
off,
on.
and take Watson off.
And revert to Isidore up front and the two wingers. Whiteman with the corner for Preston on the right-hand side. Drives this in.
Yeah, I've seen that,
And it's
Jonathan.
headed away
Touch.
by Mepham. And it's a break for Isidore over the halfway line. He's still going, but he's pushed it a little bit too far forwards. And Kessler Hayden took it off his feet. And then he's penalised. 52nd minute. We know he's strong. He did it at Hull, Isidore, when he gets into those situations.
Our players getting
But he
into
just
a good
tapped
position
it a
and
little
Preston
bit too
taking back
far
off
ahead
it.
of him.
It's just too easy for them, it is.
Kessler Hayden, the 22-year-old on loan from Aston Villa, whipped the ball off his feet. Out wide, it's come back to Lindsay. Lindsay now to Story on this right-hand side. Connolly in front of him. Back to Lindsay. And across to Hughes on the Preston left. And then
Just
wide
need
again to
6
Kessler
more
Hayden.
likes for 100
Connolly,
likes.
and
Thank
Watson
you.
goes to close him down. Connolly was waiting for it inside in the middle. Riggs there as well. But it's back with Woodman and out to Story on the right. Story on halfway to Potts on the touchline. Brad Potts back to Jordan Story. Back again to Woodman, who's outside his penalty area. We're in the 53rd minute. 0-0.
Wilson's
Across
gonna
to
go up
Andrew
front.
Hughes again. And Paul Heckingbottom's urging his players to get the ball up. Connolly closes down Lindsay. The ball played back to Woodman. Out to Story here.
It's all
And
Preston.
down the line again to Potts.
Too
Potts, Isidore.
I mean,
It whipped past him to Greenwood. Back to Potts, on towards Reese.
easy.
And then it's back to Greenwood, who curls across into the back of the box. It's hooked away by Hume. Up into midfield. Headed on by Whiteman. Comes back up to the centre circle. Hughes rolls it out wide left. On that left-hand side now, Frockyar coming forwards with it. Right-footed, playing it in, looking for Potts. It's whizzed through the penalty area and behind for a goal kick.
Goodness knows, Ed. Brian Hughes, Connolly and Watson need to come off now. Bring on Wonder Roberts now. They have
Preston's fans finally find their voices. Moore then away to our right, the two centre-backs either side of him. And Moore pauses the ball in the middle of the 6-yard line. And Luke O'Nien comes towards him. It's tapped to O'Nien. Reese goes to close him down. He blocks the clearance. And it's bounced out for a throw on the far side.
to. God, this is awful for them Sunderland fans. Like
10 yards from the corner on the left. I just don't see what the benefit of those short passes out from defence gives a team,
Jonathan,
to be
what's
honest.
going on? Nothing, Jonathan. That's the main
It's
thing.
hooked away by Neil up to the halfway line. On to halfway Story, lays it off to Lindsay, out to Hughes on the touchline. He drives it down the left, Mepham heads it down straight to Frockyar, who gets it into Reese, comes back out here and put over the bar by Greenwood.
They're not going to continue missing chance after chance, Nick.
Well, Frockyar it was who put it over.
We need a rocket up their backsides. Like, has anybody got any fireworks left from Guy Fawkes night? Crikey.
Another opportunity for Preston.
We've just got nothing going forward, have we?
Reese has gone to close Moore down again, but he gets the ball up over halfway. It bounced over Watson, and it'll go out for a throw to Preston on the far side, halfway inside their own half. Back to Freddie Woodman. Woodman passing it away to the left again to Hughes. Hughes down that left touch line, trying to get Greenwood down the line to Kessler Hayden, and then back it comes out for a throw to Sunderland on halfway in front of the dugouts on the far
See,
side.
it's performances like this that tell me Sunderland
will take the
will finish top
throw.
8, top 9. If we do too many performances like this, because this is matching
Mundell and
QPR,
Roberts
this is.
just watching on from the touchline.
Connolly hasn't done anything.
Warm up, and they're still
I've never
waiting
seen
for this
Connolly do
throw.
anything since he's been playing.
Drops to
in any game.
Neil, pushes it on, looking to try
You're
and
right,
get it
Jonathan,
to
they'll
Rigg.
get a chance and they'll score.
To Connolly. Connolly picks himself off the floor, then tried to play it forwards, but it's a free kick, foul on Trey Hume on the far side. 10 minutes into the second half, 0-0 still. Neil takes the free kick, back to O'Nien, forwards to Sirkin on this left-hand side. Sirkin wide to Isidore. Isidore, Potts in front of him. Isidore hugging the touchline at the moment, trying to come past Potts, plays it back to Alan Brown. And Brown plays it back again onto halfway to O'Nien. He whipped it away from Rees, who is closing in to Mepham. Mepham now looking for Riggs' run down the right of the penalty area. Hughes sticking with him. Riggs pulls it over the goal line as he tried to turn, and it's another goal kick.
Terrible, Connolly.
To Preston
Might
North
seem
End.
a nice fella, but
Luton 1, Cardiff 0.
Oh, that's a surprise scoreline.
Story back to Woodman.
Cardiff losing. Top of the
Passes
league,
it out
Cardiff
to
in the
Hughes on the
current form
left.
guide.
Watson goes to close him down. It's played down the line. Inside from Kessler Hayden to McCann. Through the middle, it's Whiteman. Whiteman on the edge of the centre circle to Story. Story forwards again. Short pass to Frockyar. He finds Potts, and Potts slips it inside now. Greenwood tried to work it forwards. O'Nien plays it out to Isidore. Isidore down the touchline. Potts going back with him. Isidore carrying it on, carrying it into the middle now. Isidore's going to try and shoot. Was he? He's gone into the penalty area. He's gone down.
Penalty.
Right on the edge of the box.
Close.
It's not a penalty, Gary.
Very close to being inside the penalty area, but it was just outside. Isidore carried that quite a long way.
He did indeed. Created his own opportunity there, didn't he?
Cut in all the way from the left wing, all the way through into the edge of the area. Was pulled
Connolly
down.
nowhere near doing that.
And this free kick,
Need to get Connolly off.
6-7 inches outside the penalty area, just to the left of the D.
That Wilson Isidore spot was immense.
The Preston one had again, you say, is it too close?
I think it's ideal for a right footer.
Well, Connolly and Alan Brown are there, Riggs there too. Luke O'Nien drifts in for a word. Who do you think?
Some speed, and he will.
Brown steps back a few yards. Connolly's just to the left of it.
I think Connolly's going to hit it. Oh, Brown fancies it.
Brown fancies it. Right-footed. Round the angle.
Gary's Bennett's size has it all.
Easily wide.
You've got to have some belief that you're going to score.
It's kind of gone. It's gone
did
straight
seem
to
to
the
be a
train
bit
station.
half-hearted. 0-0 still then. Played.
Would have been better off not getting the free kick.
Yeah, it's going to come on.
Second half, and there will be the switch. You see Mundell and Roberts.
That was terrible, man.
Removing their training tops. Here's O'Nien. Down the left, Sirkin. Well, Frockyar slid in. It could have been
a free kick. It was just like a pass.
Awkward
like
if Sirkin hadn't jumped out of the
no
way.
man's land.
But he did. It's a throw to Sunderland. Drops to Alan Brown, back to Sirkin.
Terrible.
Pushing it on to Connolly. Did well to hold off the...
Oh, God's sake. And there's the commentary guns down again.
The referee's going to give a yellow card to Lindsay. There it is, shown by Lewis Smith. Lindsay was sent off.
Well, yeah, we're in Preston for 8 years.
At Oxford earlier in the season, 2 yellows.
So it's all Sun and Fan Chicken Leave at the minute.
Nearly an hour played. Alan Brown brings the ball in field. He's going to take the free kick.
103 likes now. Thank you
defence
very
a good
much.
22, 23 yards out, and the referee
you.
wants the free kick taken again. Brown walks back over to the spot to place the ball. You can hear the Sunderland fans behind Freddie Woodman's goal. Brown just taps it in to O'Nien, back out to Sirkin wide, back inside to Dan Neil. Neil through, now looking for Sirkin. He managed to get a foot on the ball, it rolls through comfortably to the keeper.
Right, there's no excuse here now,
Kessler
like 30 minutes to go, and I want to see all Sunderland. It's been
Woodman
Preston for 60 minutes, it's got to be all Sunderland now for
and Roberts now
the remainder of the match.
Coming down to the front of the dugouts. The ball comes back to Woodman.
Not being harsh on Connolly, but what does he
Passes
bring to
it
the
to
side?
Story.
Anybody got any answers in the chat?
Story back to Woodman.
Dragon Hunter says, let's go, lads, come on.
61st minute. Preston North End 0, Sunderland 0. Story passing it back again to Woodman. Woodman, Connolly and Rigg in front of him. Isidore now trying to close down Story, who floats one down the right-hand side, looking for Rees. He's big and strong, Emil Rees, 6'3", the Dane. It's played through to Kessler Hayden at the edge of the area. He's tried to push it through for McCann, but Hume's gone across, his Northern Ireland teammate, and manages to knock the ball away from McCann, but then there's a foul on Watson by Kessler Hayden and a free kick to Sunderland. To the touchline, we're going to make the changes now, are they? Looks like they are, and Connolly's coming off for Mundle.
Thank goodness for that. Oh, I didn't start Connolly again. He needs more run-outs in the 21s, under 21s. Sorry, Connolly.
Yeah, there you was, exactly as you suspected. A frustrating evening for Tommy Watson.
It has been. He's struggled to get into the game, hasn't
he?
I doubted Dave.
So now Mundle's out here on the
Watson's
left-hand side and Roberts on the right.
Hasn't got the beef, he's not got the experience to start a full game. He's a good impact sub as Watson, but not
Gamble didn't come off, did it?
No.
To start.
63rd minute, 0-0. The ball played up to Hume, and kicks the clearance. Rees has run onto it.
Stand up.
Down the left of the penalty area, into the box he goes, and there's a push by Hume. Rees has gone down, but far too easily. There's a little bit of argy-bargy. Hume had to be careful, but Rees picks himself up, makes no complaints about it all, and play has gone on. And here's Lindsay to McCann, to Hughes, through to Greenwood, looking for a run through the centre.
I'd watch it, we'll bring the subs on and the bloody score,
and we'll come down for Potts to
We've
try
been
and get
crying
off
out for a change all the time.
He's on the deck, the ball's gone out, it's a throw to Sunderland. Coventry 0, Derby 2. Coventry, the visitors to the Stadium of Light, of course, on Saturday.
Derby 2. That result, that scoreline has shocked me. That like,
and
so
Sirkin.
Far. But Coventry, I wouldn't
throw.
be surprised if they came back and won 3-2.
Seems
They've had some
gloomy in the corners here.
Strange wins and
Deepdale.
results they have.
Ball punched out by Alan Brown. I mean, figuratively speaking, he kicked it hard out off a Preston player. Another throw to Sunderland. Back to Sirkin.
No difference,
another
Julian.
By Potts
to be honest
for another
with you.
throw to Sunderland. Down in the corner on the left-hand side. 5,000 Sunderland voices singing out from the Bill Shankly stand away to our left. Sirkin's throw back to O'Nien, hooks it up to the halfway line.
I don't think their keepers had anything to
looking
do all
for it
game, have
is
they?
Rigg, but it's knocked away from him to Whiteman, and now McCann looking for it, but one back by Roberts.
Ugh.
Roberts
Tonight
over
they are,
on the
Lily.
far side, turning Greenwood, and Roberts now bringing into the centre and playing it across to Sirkin. Sirkin in the 64th minute to Mundle on the left wing. Mundle plays it back over the halfway line to Luke O'Nien, and then forwards to Neil. Neil, Frockyar on his shoulder. Neil just turns him, plays it short to Alan Brown just to his left, and then Brown out wide to Mundle. Potts is pulling him about. He's got hold of his left arm, and the referee has given the free kick to Sunderland. Quickly taken by Mundle, back to Neil in the centre circle, and then to Mepham. Mepham back to Simon Moore. Moore outside of his penalty area, passes the ball to Mepham on the right-hand side, forwards to Rigg, Rigg back to Moore. Rees comes to close him down. Moore's kick up into the Preston half and over Lindsay's shoulder. Isidore gives chase, it bounces into the hands of Woodman, who rolls it out to Story. Story out wide, then to Potts. Potts closed down, and the block made by Sirkin, it's a throw to Preston on the right, just short of halfway. It's gone all the way back in the end from Story's throw, further back to the goalkeeper. Out to Liam Lindsay,
15
and then to
minutes or
Andrew
so
Hughes.
to go.
An Englishman, a Scotsman and a Welshman in the back three for Preston North End, as O'Nien plays the ball out now to Hugh and Roberts. Roberts on the right wing. He's got inside Neil, who tried to flick it through to Isidore, back to Neil, and then out again short to Roberts on the right side of midfield, and down the right of the penalty area is Rigg. Rigg onto his left foot, crosses, Woodman comes out, punches it in the air. He was under pressure from Brown. It comes out to Mundle. Mundle now running at the penalty area, onto his right, can't get past two players. It's knocked away by Frockyar, and then O'Nien wings it back and finds Sirkin down the left-hand side. Sirkin, Mundle's out
Starting
wide.
to play a little bit
Mundle
now, Sunderland.
Coming back, Potts on
They've
his
got
shoulder, back to O'Nien, inside to Neil. This is much, much better from Sunderland now. And then
That's
a
a
foul
foul.
surely on Brown by Lindsay, who's already been booked. And it's a free kick right in the centre of the Preston half.
Yeah, it's funny how two players come on and it just changes the tempo of the game.
It's lit them up. Sunderland, Mundle and Roberts coming on. Isidore getting through the middle. Isidore goes and retrieves the ball, sitting just down the left of the penalty area. Halfway through the second half, 3/4 of the game gone. Preston North End 0, Sunderland 0. Live on BBC
Give
Radio
those
Newcastle.
5,000 Sunderland fans something to shout about.
4 players around the free kick. Dan Neil wanders off. Isidore's wandered up to the edge of the penalty area. Mundle, Brown and Roberts now left to discuss who's going to take and what they're going to do with a free kick. And then Brown wanders into the pack of players along the 18-yard line. Mundle or Roberts with the free kick in the 68th minute.
Howie.
Mundle stepping back away from the ball. He's going to take it. Passes it through to Brown. Back out to Roberts. Curls across in. Just over the head of Rigg. Tried to leap. Couldn't really get any leverage. And the ball goes behind. It rolls away at the corner for a goal kick to Preston North End.
Lily's all right, as long as she's not really abusive. I don't mind a bit
Freddie
of banter.
Woodman's retrieved the
As
ball.
long as it doesn't get nasty.
Places it between
That's
the
absolutely
two
fine.
centre-backs on the 6-yard line. And now Woodman closed down by Isidore.
Banter doesn't
And
bother
out
me,
on the
as long
left
as it's
wing,
not horrible
headed
stuff.
in by Hughes. There was a lunge then, and the free kick for a foul on Roberts. Wide on the right.
TikTok, I don't know what restrictions
So
TikTok
this
have.
Moving again with Brown
I have got a TikTok
down
account,
the right wing.
but it goes on the
Roberts
DJ
with
Earth because I do
Hume
music productions and
pushing
stuff.
on, tumbling down, the ball still in, hooked away by Preston but out eventually for a throw to Sunderland. Deep in the Preston half. Now what's the referee seen here? He's jogging down to the corner.
If you're new, just hit
where-
that subscribe button. Thanks.
Is it Liam Lindsay?
Much appreciated. Cheers.
He's just bent over at the moment. Just jogging back again. Lewis Smith, the referee. So now
Have we troubled their keeper
Hume will
all
take the
game?
throw.
I don't think we have.
Hume will take it.
So some will say a point will be a good point if Leeds lose.
Down to the goal line.
That's what
and
folk will
behind
say,
for a goal
won't they?
kick. So 0-0 in the 70th, 20 minutes to go. And they're looking much brighter and much more purpose about them. Here on halfway, headed on by Sirkin. He's onside Isidore, but the keeper's come out.
He must have thought he
Grabs
was
the
offside.
ball right at the edge of the area, and Lindsay's down on his back in the penalty area. Referees come back, assessing the situation. The physio's coming on. Liam Lindsay just lying just forwards of the penalty spot. Physio checks him
Remember,
out.
League One was never
Number
a dull
of players
moment, I
going
know.
across to the dugouts to have a drink,
The Lily's
have a
going for
chat,
2-0 Preston,
have
are
a
you?
rest.
I knew it would be a tough game. They draw most of them, just hoping for a win somehow.
Lindsay still receiving treatment. I wonder if the centre back is going to carry on. He's clearly got a problem, but it's just serious how serious the problem is. He's up on his feet now.
Are they making a substitution?
So hard to say, isn't it, with the dugout being on the far side. His right leg looks a bit stiff.
Might be Watmore, is it?
Jack Watmore's the centre half
It's like
on the
QPR,
bench.
Holly.
You assume that would be the
A draw good relative
most likely
to the performance, but the performance is crap.
change,
I
wouldn't
know,
you?
I know.
Yeah, Watmore is ready. And I think he will replace Lindsay.
A good point goalless
Former
against
Portsmouth and
QPR,
Wigan
then Preston will be a result
centre half.
for the top team in the league.
Lindsay's out on the far touchline
Still
now.
plenty of time for a
Watmore
winner.
is certainly
Stuart
stripped
Finley.
off, but no, it's hard to see whether Watmore's going to sat back. No, he's down at the front. I think he's going to come on. Woodman has the ball. Blackburn 0, Stoke 2.
Bloody hell.
Watmore's put a bib back on again. Lindsay's still on the touchline, looking as though he's going to come back on. The ball from Preston right down
But
to
if it
Sirkin
stays
on his
0-0 at full
left-hand
time
side.
and Leeds
And
still see
Sirkin
it, the fans will see
pushing
it.
on, finds
Leeds
Mundell,
lost, we
taps it
didn't.
back inside to Sirkin. Sirkin still going, and then finally was he tripped? No, says the referee. And now Mundell's
And we've
trying to
not
win
conceded
it on
in 2
the goal
games.
line, but Story's got it off him, hooks it out, only as
Oh,
far as
man.
Brown, but then Frockyard gets a foot to it, but in slides O'Neill, the ball goes to Potts. Potts plays it down the right here. It whistles past Frockyard, and Meppem's there to cover, to play it back to Simon Moore. Lindsay's back on, so no substitution for the time
Bellingham was
being being
looking
made
at this
by
and regretting
Preston
his
North
red
End.
card rash
In
challenge.
the
We could do with
73rd
him here, we
minute,
could.
0-0. Hume is
Since
going
this
away
new
down the
coach
right
came in,
now.
we have looked
Hume
good
up
at the
to
back,
halfway
but
line,
lost something going
still
forward.
going, leaves it for Roberts. Roberts is pushed over.
Oh, come on, commentary man. What
And
is
again.
up?
Oh, what did he come back on for?
What? Coventry 1, Derby 2. Yeah, why
Maybe he's
come
the
back
comeback
on?
from Coventry.
Watmore's going to come on.
He's the comeback from Coventry. Yeah, watch.
Ridiculous.
3-2, they'll win that one. Remember me seeing that on here. Coventry will come back and win that 3-2.
So Liam Lindsay plays no further part.
We're abysmal at the back today, says Jonathan.
And Jack Watmore comes on. 28 years old
Is
now.
that Duncan's brother?
Free kick taken by Meppem, hangs in the air for a moment, headed down and away by Preston, comes back to Mundell though, and now with Sirkin. Sirkin on the left, plays it into the middle. Brown as he's back to goal, leaves it for Neil. Neil out to
How are you,
Sirkin,
man?
who Potts got there first, but Sirkin gets it to Mundell. He did well. Mundell into the penalty area, trying to put it on his right foot for a shot, or possibly his left, but he's forced out and plays it back to Sirkin. Sirkin drives it back in again. It comes off Mundell, then out for Preston, and they're looking to try and get Rees through the middle, but Moore will come out to the edge of his penalty area, taps it into the box, picks up the ball and rolls it out quickly now on the right hand side to Meppem.
Graham Foster, we
more
need some
intensity to the
imagination
game
and
now
flair.
from
More
Sunderland.
intensity
But
from
somebody
Sunderland,
take a
yeah.
risk, says Graham.
As the ball
Oh, well, the lad says Matty
played on
Collins.
by
Oh, great.
Hello,
play.
Ian, you're welcome,
looking
mate. You
for
all right?
Roberts inside now to Rigg. Rigg in the middle to Neil. This in the Preston half. Neil pushing on to the edge of the penalty area, the corner of the penalty area. Plays it out to Mundell on the left, and Mundell with Sirkin. Mundell onto his right, pulls it back to Alan Brown. Brown now looking for Neil just to his left. Neil plays it back to Brown, and Brown back to O'Neill, left of the centre circle. Then to Meppem. Meppem brings it forwards and rolls it out to Roberts wide on the right. Roberts cutting inside. Kessler Hayden's trying to stick with him. Roberts trying to turn and shake off the wing back inside to
Come
Rigg,
on, son, and keep
and the
this
ball
going.
played back.
Thanks for the
to
subscriber
Roberts.
there. Thank
Roberts
you.
low ball blocked by Watmore, and it would be played up towards the halfway line. But there's a foul on McCann by Neil, who argues with the referee but
Cheers,
walks
Ian.
away.
More is the dog's bollocks, says Luke.
And it's a free
Spot
kick
on, James says.
in the
20th
middle
century. Jonathan Mark
of the
like watching
Preston
the
half.
two on sketch watching us today. How ball greedy is Mundle, says Dave.
Well, Greenwood's
Sam
going
Greenwood
off now for Preston.
Pararian Sport says, who has more possibilities to win? Well, I'd say Sunderland the last 10 minutes are just edging it, but just failing to find that
sure.
cutting edge. They should play
is
the Benny
Holmes,
Hill
yeah.
music
It
theme
is
every time we
Holmes.
go forward.
Holmes.
Shared you on 3 platforms, mate. Thanks, David. Thanks, fella.
Yeah.
An American international, 2 caps for the
Yeah, he's busy as well.
29-year-old, signed from Huddersfield a couple of seasons
Correct.
ago. He's on then for Preston now with 14 minutes to play. Down the right side of the Sunderland penalty area, Holmes getting his first touch out to Potts. He crosses, he falls over as he does so. Hume volleys it down the right. Roberts heads it on. He's opened up some space for himself. Roberts trying to sweep it through the middle for Isidore, wouldn't make it.
Gavy's Bennett's
Cut out by
size
Watmore.
says it all.
Play through the middle here now. Whiteman's taking it on, gets it out to Potts on the right, but beaten to it by Sirkin stretching for it, who get it up to the halfway line. Now Rigg has it, finds Roberts again, and Roberts now
That's the
with...
trouble, Ian.
He's got
Have a
Rigg
shot,
behind him.
man, have a
He
crack.
stumbles
just
into
a
the middle of
foul,
his trip
great
up
play.
by Kessler Hayden. And at the moment, it's
You're welcome. Thanks, David.
Sunderland
Thanks,
are all
mate.
over
You bet Sunderland,
Preston.
100%.
Different
Period
ball game
sport.
now, isn't it? Different ball game. You make them 2 substitutions. All of a sudden, Sunderland pick the ball up and they've got a little bit of intensity, pace, and they're causing problems for Preston.
But the crucial thing is, can they cause a problem for Woodman? He's not had a save to make. They're causing Preston problems, but they've got to get the ball in the box. 78th minute, 0-0. Mundle and Roberts over the free kick on the right-hand side of midfield.
Quality.
Roberts jogs away. Mundle drives it into the box. It's headed away at the edge of the penalty area. And there's a chase across it. It was a sprint across for Dan Neal. Frockyard beats him to it, plays the ball back to Potts behind him. And then Potts bringing this on down the right-hand side for Preston North End, holding off Mundle. Still going Potts. And
See how free kicks have
Mundle's
been
trying to get
awful.
round him, but he can't get near him. It's come back to Frockyard. Frockyard back eventually to Story on the halfway line. Through Whiteman to Hughes. Hughes now wide left, Kessler Hayden down to McCann on the left-hand side. Back to Kessler Hayden. He rolls it down the left of the penalty area to Frockyard.
I know, Ian, it's
Frockyard.
class, isn't it? That's mental.
He's trying to find an opening wide on the left with Kessler Hayden again. Back it
Pararian
comes to
Sport
Hughes.
is the name of the betting system in France. Wow.
Frockyard.
We will pull it off, says Brian. 1-0.
Comes down this left-hand side from Preston North End. Back from Frockyard to Watmore. And Watmore eventually out to the right wing to Potts.
Mayenda's going to come on.
Oh yeah, well spotted over on that far side. Watmore again in the middle to Hughes.
Oh, dear me. Nothing much to get excited about,
Who do
really,
you
is
think
there?
Miendo come on for Isidore?
Wilson, yeah.
Isidore's going to come off, I think.
Up goes Sirkin with Potts. The ball comes back into the Preston half. Throw for Preston on the right-hand side. Mienda then is going to
Just
come
didn't
on
lose it tonight, lads.
for
Just
Isidore.
don't lose. But how many times in seasons has draws
Sunderland's third
screwed
change.
things for Sunderland? Too many draws. Draws.
On comes Mienda. First time I'm trying to think, did he come on at the
Yes,
weekend?
he did.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, he
Yeah.
did come on for the end.
Good substitution, said Brian. We hope so.
So Story with a throw
Tonks,
for
I've got more
Preston
chance
on
of
this.
snoring than
right-hand
Sunderland
side.
scoring, says
Goes back
Tonks.
to Story. Up into the middle of the Sunderland half. Neal's
Hasn't
won
been
it
too
back,
bad,
and it
Isidore.
comes back then to Brown. Brown just in front of
Doesn't
the
work playing
centre
alongside
circle,
Connolly,
trying
like.
to get Hume away on the right. Kessler Hayden's got in front of him, and he plays the ball back to Hughes. Mayenda goes to close him down. Hughes plays it out. It's flicked on up towards the halfway line, but one back by Rigg now. Rigg rolling it to Neil, just behind him in the middle. Now Neil taking it on. He's just pushed it a little bit too far forwards.
Is that right, Dragon?
Preston
wow,
clear again.
Leeds have lost.
Up towards halfway. O'Nien collides with Sirkin. The ball lands on a television camera, and it's a throw to
mad.
Preston on the right-hand side. 0-0 still in the 81st minute. Live on BBC Radio.
And whether you like it or not, that makes, if it's a draw tonight, that
evening.
makes it. Some people might
As
say, well,
Holmes plays the ball across.
it makes
to
it a bit more
Kessler
uplifting,
Hayden.
doesn't it? With Leeds losing,
Hume
if
goes
we
to cut it out, but
just
Frockyard
gain a
gets it
point
down
on
the
them.
left of the Sunderland penalty area.
Go for the
backheel
win,
try,
lads,
but it
man.
came off Mepham for a throw.
Neil is dross
to
against it, Jonathan.
Preston. Referee wants it taken back a few yards. There could be another change here now. So McCann's going
So
off.
then, lads and lasses in the chat, Leeds have lost. Would you be happy? I'll ask you again.
And
Would you be happy if it
Torderson-
finished 0-0 at full time
Torderson,
here at
The
Deepdale?
Icelandic international is his replacement.
Would you be happy
Stefan
with that?
Torderson. Ball is cleared by Sunderland. It was thrown into the box, and now they're coming again with Kessler Hayden, but on
Well
the
done.
goal line, Hume wallops the ball off the defender, and it goes behind for a Sunderland goal kick.
Yeah, 6 points sounds a lot, but it's only 2 games, really, isn't it? If they win 2 on the bounce and thingy. Lily says, "Come on, Preston." Lily must be a Preston fan through and through. Dave, whether Leeds lost or not, we still need the win if we have aspirations to go. Dan Neil needs dropping this season. Too many bad. We can't have too many bad games, can you, Ian? Absolutely. Missed
As
job
you can
tonight,
hear,
Christopher.
it's a public address announcement about the closure of the M6 and the implications following the game for all the supporters leaving Deepdale tonight. It's led to all sorts of problems. A couple of the Sunderland media team took 8 hours to get here today. Didn't arrive till half time. Left at 12:45 and they arrived at Deepdale at half time.
Crazy.
It is crazy, but sadly at least one person has died in that accident on the M6.
Go to the toilet. Be back in a second.
Today,
Hopefully we're 3-0 up when we come
I
back.
think that sort of puts all those sort of thoughts aside. It's a tragedy, and the game's gone ahead. The game of football has been played. Everybody's pretty much got here. There's a free kick for Preston North End here on the right-hand side in their own half. Woodman's come right up to take the kick for Preston. Only Kessler Hayden back on the centre spot. Everybody else in the Sunderland midfield. Kessler Hayden's doing up his laces, I think.
Have we scored?
Woodman
No,
with the
we
kick
haven't, have we?
hangs up at the edge of the Sunderland penalty area. It's headed into the box. Frockyard trying to head it on and comes back across the penalty area. And Mayenda and Mundell is trying to get the ball out. Mayenda's just ahead of him.
Oleg, so
But eventually
yes, so am
it's
I.
played down the line,
Sunderland
and
fans.
it's just stayed in actually. And it's Sirkin trying to keep it in. It's just stopped on the line, and now Sirkin does get it off Rees and hooks it high in the air up towards Mayenda. And so
are we looking at a 0-0
then back it
stalemate?
comes towards Sirkin, who goes
Thanks
over the
for
top
the
of
subscriber there.
Potts and is
3,240 subscribers now. Thank you.
One bus didn't make it to Deepdale, I'm told. It's currently at a pub while the driver has a rest because he's been driving 6 hours and they're going to go home. Didn't even get here. So 0-0 with 5-6 minutes of the 90 remaining. Whiteman's going to take this free kick. What are the chances of 2 0-0s for Sunderland this weekend? This week. Whiteman whips the ball in. It's bounced through the penalty area. It's a chase across the far
Lily,
side
I've
of
just
Brown.
picked you off the channel.
Brown comes
You're
away
just
with it
being
here.
boring
He's being
now.
chased
Go and
back
play
by Tordarson, but it's come all the way
on the
back now
Newcastle channels, will
to
ya?
Freddie Woodman. Mayenda sprints across the penalty area, but Woodman gets the ball clear, and it's headed on by...
Didn't mind a bit of banter, but when you just constantly at it,
Sirkin.
constantly at it, being boring, it's like, go away.
Tordarson, you have to say, looks like a Viking, doesn't he, in the middle there?
Tonight's performance, Conley's not good enough and Watson is not ready. No, I know.
6'2",
Jordan Henderson will be
blonde-haired
great signing. That's what we
Icelander.
need, totally.
As the ball comes out on the far side.
Go for it.
Hughes.
Sorry, I've got rid of Lily now.
Played on to
Just getting
Frockyard,
boring.
down the line again to Kessler Hayden as he goes down to the corner with Hume on his shoulder, plays it back.
It's the fact
to
we haven't done a
Frockyard,
thing in the
inside to
second half.
Tordarson.
Not one
And
thing.
Tordarson now is still
too
going.
easy.
He's got away from Brown. He rolls it through to the edge of the area, but it's cut out by Sirkin. Picked back up by Potts. Potts now, as Neil tries to get the ball off him, lays it off to Story. Out here on the right to Dwayne Holmes. And Holmes crosses, and it's going to be headed away by Mepham. Only as far as Tordarson. He comes up and gets the ball down to Story, who plays it across here now to Hughes.
Julian
And
Gonzalez, I've
forwards
just finished
to
my
Frockyard.
tasks.
Back to Hughes. Down the left again to Kessler Hayden
Solid
on the
at the back,
touchline on
Tooth at the front,
the left-hand
Norman
side.
Stoke, Derby and
He's being
Millwall
tackled
on
though by
He needs
Hume.
help, he
Hume's
needs
up
help.
over the halfway line, stumbles. Was he fouled? No, the referee doesn't think so. And away come Preston again down the left. They've got a player still down on the touchline on the far side. Kessler Hayden and Frockyard, as Kessler Hayden gets up, plays it back to Tordarson, and it's come back again to Hughes. Hughes back now to Watmore. 87th
Dream World there,
minute.
Christopher. Henderson,
Preston
Wigan,
0,
Joe.
Sunderland 0. And Watmore
So
plays
is
it
this
to
going to be
Hughes.
2-0 games
Hughes
on the trot?
on the halfway line on the left, back again to Watmore, back again to Hughes on the left-hand side, and he takes it into the Sunderland half. Comes off Roberts, goes out
The only
for a
positive
Preston
is,
throw.
Dragon, that we're not losing. That's the only thing
Third
I
of the
can
way
say.
inside the Sunderland half. Into the middle, Frockyard. He's still going. He's got Alan Brown on his shoulder. He lays the ball off behind him to Whiteman. Whiteman to Watmore. Down the left to Hughes on the touchline almost. And Hughes plays it back now to Tordarson, and he play it back to Whiteman. Taps it to his left to Watmore. Through, looking for Reese, cut out by Hume. Played to Roberts. Roberts down the right-hand side, trying to get the ball into the middle here. And it comes down for Alan Brown. He tried to sweep it down the left wing to Mundle. Headed away though by Story. Then a foul on Neil and a free kick to Sunderland. Third of the way inside the
We need to do what Sheffield
Preston
United
half.
did and got a goal in the
On the
98th
left
minute.
of midfield,
On the
Neil
stats,
gets to his
Preston
feet.
North
We're
End
in the
14
89th
shots,
minute.
Sunderland 8. We've only one on target, plus another clean
It's just a
sheet.
question of how much time will be added on at the end by Lewis Smith.
I've just not been able
Alan
to get
Brown will
excited
take the
about
free
anything
kick. Plays it
second
across to Trey Hume.
half. Nothing.
Hume wide again to Roberts, and Roberts now taking on Kessler Hayden, cutting inside, crossing into the box. In the air though from Story, comes down at the edge of the area, it's put back up in the box, in the air, comes to the edge of the area, mistake by Hughes, couldn't quite clear it. Neil tried to get on the end of it with a header, it comes out to Rigg, and Rigg now turns away from Holmes, slips it to Sirkin.
Couldn't I,
Sirkin
Colin?
down
I
the
don't
left to
blame you,
Mundle.
mate.
Mundle cutting
you can give
across the back
Davey
of
a
the
call.
area, through into the box to Rigg, He's blocked by Story, and it's played out on the right-hand side here to Potts. Potts drives it up towards the halfway line, down the right-hand side, on the
Corsican,
touchline.
absolutely.
It's Reese who's trying to get away from O'Nien, back to Holmes, behind him is Potts. Potts swings the ball up into the
Hack the ground
Sunderland
manager's
half.
computers and
Mepham
turn the
heads it down to
sprinklers on.
Brown. Brown with Frockyard on his shoulder. On the halfway line is fouled by Frockyard. Free kick over on that right-hand side, on halfway for Sunderland. We've nearly played the 90. Robert Madley, Bobby Madley's over there, readying the board. How much time will be added on? 0-0. Here's Hume in the middle, plays it to O'Nien. O'Nien taps it to Neil, back to O'Nien, and forwards to Mundle. Mundle back to O'Nien, across back to Moore. I make it 90 minutes now.
Oh my God.
Bobby Madley has 5 minutes
Cheers, Stealth. Thanks for tuning in, mate.
as we play the first of those 5 minutes. The ball on the halfway line, on the touchline on the far side. Preston trying to work it forward. They've won a throw, and it's going to be taken by
Imagine if Sunderland score now, the
to
crowd, the fans will
Tordarson
go
on the halfway
mental,
line.
wouldn't they?
He plays it back again to Story, and Story plays it to Watmore.
Just kind of see where the goal's going to come from, but you just need that chance.
Hughes down the left again. Oh, it's swept past Kessler Hayden, picked back up by Brown. Brown now, as we played nearly a minute to the minimum 5, overhits it up for Mienda, who thumbs up, but it's played out through the middle, up to the halfway line. Holmes gives the ball away to Sirkin, trying to get away down the left. Windsor throw in down the left-hand side. Dennis Sirkin. Mundell
20th
is going to
century
take
game,
the throw.
yeah.
Back it goes to Luke O'Nien. O'Nien across then to Mepham. Mepham forwards onto the halfway line. Hume, who's got through, hopefully, another game without that yellow card, as has Rigg. And Roberts is on there with 4 now as well. But here's Neil, out wide to Mundell. Mundell down the left of the penalty area, taking on Potts. Will he cross? He does. He's done well here. It drops for Roberts. Low ball in, and it's spilled around the post by the keeper for a corner.
Excellent effort.
Let's have a
Very
decent
good effort
corner,
by Roberts.
Good play again by Mundell.
Finally testing Woodman in the second half. So this is a 4th Sunderland corner of the game.
Come on.
From the right-hand side. Roberts will take it. Plenty of bodies in the box, almost all in the 6-yard box. Headed out, it's come back out to Neil, he's miskicked it.
Sick,
It's gone
man.
wide halfway between the goal and corner.
But there's a huge difference, Nick, when you brought Roberts and
Very
Mundell on.
much so. Changed.
You know, it changed
Transformed
everything.
the game from the Sunderland perspective, but they just haven't yet found a way of getting a goal
haven't been
as a
even
consequence.
close.
2.5 minutes left.
Getting the goal. We've gone from scoring every game to
Woodman
not
is gonna
scoring in
take
2.
the
Neil is shocking, has to be
goal
dropped.
kick.
Short corner coming up. Right, CABBIE, I'm off. It's boring, I'm
So-
falling asleep. Good night, the packer, Andrew. Even the commentary's gone off. They're falling asleep.
Up goes Brown, down goes Rees, but no free kick. And the ball down the left, Mundell's going to chase Watmore here. Watmore gets in front of
Meander.
Mundell, then...
Newcastle is better, says Logan. Well,
Meander gets
they
in
are,
front
they're in the
of,
Premier League.
Give away a
Watmore
stupid
then
foul.
pulls him down.
Silly foul.
And they've spent a couple of quid, haven't they?
No need. He's going nowhere.
So Woodman out on the right-hand side of the penalty area to take the free kick for Preston North End. About 1 minute and 40 seconds of the minimum 5 left.
I am more disappointed with this 0-0 game than
Kicked by
QPR
Woodman
because we've got
up
11 men
over
on the pitch.
Halfway line, headed on by O'Nien. Tordarson comes with Rigg. Rigg gets a foot to it and gets it back from Mayenda, but the ball slipped through back.
Gary
Whiteman
Bennett's
to play back
psiometer
to the
has
goalkeeper.
been nearly 90%
He kicks out to
tonight.
Story on this right-hand
Every time
side.
we're going forward,
And
it's
Jordan Story bringing this forwards now.
what does that
for
tell you?
Preston. Up to Potts, flicked in past Rees. Potts thought he was fouled, and the referee's given the free kick now. Out on the right touchline with 1 minute and 5 seconds left.
Loads of time, yeah. Keep the faith, says 20th century game, and I
The
think he's
ball
on
in
about the rest of the season.
Sunderland half. Woodman is coming forwards to take
Logan,
the free
I do
kick.
need to give
Is he?
respect to
No,
you all
he's
pretty
been
good,
ushered
but
back by
you can make a
Ben
comeback to the
Whiteman.
Premier League, says Logan. Respect all,
Concentration
Logan,
here, Nick.
respect.
Yeah, very much
Thanks
so.
for
In
the
this
great
last
show
minute now,
whilst
the
that
minimum
work from Chris
5.
Winder. You're welcome, Sean
0-0.
Army. Dave says this is bollocks.
A consecutive 0-0 beckons for Sunderland. Clean sheet again, point away from home.
Paul Nelson says, CABBIE, get that
And what
bag off
promised
the
to be a
channel. As long
difficult
as he's
week
not rude
for
or
Sunderland.
constantly being a pain, absolutely
And the
fine.
kick hangs at the edge of the penalty area. It's headed down. Tordarson whips it back in right across the penalty area, out for a throw to Sunderland on the left, and this may well be the last passage of play now, because I make it only 13 seconds left.
Totally down, thought we would be better.
Preston supporters starting
Must
to
win at
leave
Coventry
now.
now. 4 points dropped, awful.
Sirkin
Says
comes
SJ.
across to take the throw.
Honest to God, man.
09's across there as well. We're into the 6th minute of time being added on by Bobby Madley.
That's it.
And that's it.
Oh my God.
It's finished
That's
0-0.
it.
A point again for Sunderland. Another clean sheet.
Here we go again,
And
another
I
clean
wonder
sheet.
there'll be a debate now as to whether
Cheers,
it was the
Billy.
right thing to do to name Watson
2 points drop, you can't
and,
guarantee points. Absolutely.
Isidore as the wingers and
disgraceful
Connolly up
performance
front.
that was,
Because
that was
when they
always
were
going to be.
changed, it completely
Yeah,
changed the
that
game.
was
SJ,
always going to
we
be the
should
conversation,
have won
Nick.
tonight
You
with
know,
tossing
if they
points
did
away.
well and we got
Neil
on
Flew,
one of
high
3
cap
points,
if
it's
you
the right
can.
thing to
Ta-ra.
do. If you don't get the
Andrew,
result,
thanks, that was
then
painful to watch
question
as
marks
Big Longin.
is the wrong thing to do because
Blair's
you
catching
see
you up now,
the
despite
injection
giving
which
everyone in the league a
obviously
2-point head
Roberts
start.
and Mundell
Up
brought
the
to the
Blades.
table
Well,
when
yeah,
they came
you
on.
got that win yesterday.
But again, it's another point away
Congratulations
from
on your
home,
win
clean
yesterday, Dom.
sheets. And, you know, you've got
if
to
this is a
give
bad
these
pitch,
players
then
the
draws are better
opportunity.
than defeats.
Now,
Bad
hopefully
patch,
they'll learn
should I
from
say.
it. You know, they've struggled to
point
get into the
away from
game.
home is
All of a
okay.
sudden, when
Dragon
Roberts and
Hunter very
Mundell
poor,
came
got
on,
at
you
least
just
three
had that sort
odds
of,
to score
shall we say,
against.
connection. And the sort
Paul
of the
McCase's
tempo
shite
increased,
game and
the
performance,
intensity,
but
the
still
quality
top.
increased
No
as well,
team has
and we
hit
seemed to
any
threat going
consistency
forward.
yet. Let's hope we can get out this
That
run
said,
for
for all
2.
Mundell and Roberts coming on and the game did change, right?
Yeah.
Woodman only had the one save to make.
What else are we?
It might have been something. It might have been different. But again, it's a clean sheet. It's a point. You know, it's a difficult place to come.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thanks, Benno and Barnsey. Thanks for the stream. Couldn't be on at all. You're welcome, Julian. Cheers, Chris. Who cares? Dom. Awful team, says Leighton. Cheers, lad. Top channel. You're welcome, 20th Century Gaming. Neil Fury. Thanks for this. It's great to hear the Mackems. You're welcome, Neil. Andrew Moore, you're welcome. Stuart Finley, enjoy your night. You're welcome, mate. Michael Taylor, cheers. Margot Lax 0-0, but 3 points would have been great. James B says, cheers, Mac and Cabbie, thanks for the game. You're welcome. Ed says, thanks a million, Cabbie, you are a fab host. You're welcome, Ed. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Thanks, says Dougie Stewart. It's 7 AM, says Neil. Class Taxi Lad says SHITE 1978. Graham Foster says, pleased to be put out of my misery. Good night, folks. Disappointing from Great Yarmouth Sun until I die. Well, good night, Graham. And Della Sport, cheers, mate. You are welcome indeed, Della Sport. My apologies, I've not brought 3 points tonight. But if you're going to have a cloth and wring out any goodness out of it, Leeds lost. We didn't. We gained a point on Leeds. It'll be interesting, some debate, won't it? Because let's face it, there's not even much to report on the game. I mean, especially second half, apart from Isidore's fizz shot that went far past the post, just whizzed the post. That's all we've done out of the whole of the 90 minutes. A good save by Moore, but apart from that, nothing really going on. So I'm going to say good night from myself. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I love you all, as always. And we'll stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget I'll be doing more videos through the week. I'll be doing a review tomorrow. And we've got the MACKEM, CABBIE and Davey show on Friday 8 till 9. So from myself, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Tonks, you're welcome, mate. And say good night. God bless and sleep well or wake up well wherever you are.